You don't want an hour of just my dude. That's all I do
I
for
know
the other
that's
ones.
I know that's what you do, but it's it's not what people tune in for when you have a specifically guest-oriented podcast
The
or
guest.
thing or whatever.
This is the podcast that was delayed 4 times. We finally made
Yeah.
it, but that's how it goes. It's your favorite, the man, the myth, the mark. That's all you get for your intro.
Good evening.
I never do intros.
That's fine. You don't need to. Some people don't need them. You certainly don't. It's your show.
We were just looking at the. Oh my gosh, I'm loud. Shit. Okay, 1 second. Let me turn myself down. We were just talking about the.
Nice.
I'm gonna turn myself up in my ears. There we go. We don't.
This is going in the cut too.
Yeah,
this
we don't cut anything out.
This is a real conversation. Edited podcasts suck. You ever listen to an edited podcast?
With the
terrible.
You hear the white noise in the background, just like click every 2
terrible.
seconds.
Yeah, the click track. People take two hour-long conversations and then make them down to the size of a TikTok. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, what were you saying?
I was saying we were looking at the picture
Yeah.
that the only person who contributed money to was Preston Hayden. So shout out to Preston.
And it was probably like $20 too.
It was like $20.
Nice. Was it actually exactly $20?
It was $26.07 or something. Something like that.
Oh, he couldn't have done.
He requested specific items to be added.
Oh, that's fine.
And then I was like, well, that's going to cost more money. He's
That's
like,
funny
I'll
because
pay for it.
I'm sitting in front of you right now and I didn't give you any money for this. I give you inspiration.
Well, there's a reason that you don't have a hard copy.
What, does Preston Hayden get a hard? Well, how much does you're printing them out on a metal sheet? Well, are we gonna give context to people what this is? Everyone that's gonna listen to this probably knows what this is.
This is the Friends concept project of everyone, like in their archetypes, exaggerated.
Yeah.
Bunch of references. Very cool mural thing. Got started in 2019. It's now 2023. Yeah, and I guess I can say how much it costs because no one fake is gonna listen to this. It cost $406.
And what is that? The sales tax?
Yeah, there was sales tax.
Oh, seriously, they had to base it. That's funny. But yeah, no, it all started out on that bus photo, which would be good. Yeah,
if I was in it.
You're not. Oh, that's right. Aren't you the one that took the photo? That's why.
Yeah, I took.
Well, everyone knows that. That's why. Then, yeah. See, so long as you give that context. But yeah, it started the high school band gang, the very close knit, very diverse group of friends chilling in the back of the band bus. The simultaneous, wonderful and terrible place to be. That picture of all of us from 2019 finally recreated into mural form in a bar. Which is kind of fitting now because everyone in that image is around 21, which makes it even more funny, even though everyone
even though everyone is their age they were.
You should make that the thumbnail for this. Actually, no, because then you'd be giving it out for free.
Let me just NFT this screenshot.
NFT this, dude. That's falling apart though.
The NFT
They're dead,
screenshots,
dude. Well, no, Bitcoin, NFT, it's all falling apart, dude.
Rip Bitcoin.
It's all a rug scheme.
From $60 million or 60,000.
Yeah, it was like six. Yes, one of them was like 60K, right?
Yeah, and now they're at like 28K or something. Tragedy. I actually bought Ethereum and then I lost over $1,000, but that's
you lost
okay.
$1,000. You lost a band in Ethereum, bro. Unreal,
dude. I've lost a lot more in domestic stock.
Oh well, you and the rest of the United States, I'm sure.
Rip my oil.
I say even though I don't invest a lot, but that's because I just don't have a big boy job. I guess that's kind of an L. They tell you to start early, but
dude, start early.
I know.
Just throw it in like a Warren Buffett type thing where it's like, oh, I only made like 0.001%, but because I'm Warren Buffett, that means $32 million.
Yeah. I mean, I think I probably should have because I've had some ideas to put things. Yeah, I still can. I've had certain companies and stuff that are publicly traded that I've thought about putting money into that have been successful, that I did not put money into, and so those are opportunity costs that I should have been taking, but here we are. So
it's never too late to start investing. This is not financial advice. I hate it when people say that. It's like, we know you're not a broker. You know what I mean? Why do people say that?
Financial advice should be very tailored to whatever your situation is.
Every YouTube video, this is not financial advice.
Well,
Thanks,
yeah,
we knew that.
they don't. Yeah, well, they don't want to get sued, is why.
It's just like
They don't want to get sued.
guy pulls up https:// YouTube in court. Like, this is why I lost $30 million.
Oh, well, dude, look at Logan Paul. He's not faring very well.
I haven't
He's
looked
losing
at that
a bunch
at all.
of money. No, I mean neither. But I don't know. Basically, well,
All I know is that he's in hot water. That's it.
he's in hot water because I don't know the specifics of the recent situation, but the main thing from is that he's just had a lot of experience from like backing like crypto scams, and like his way out is just to be like, oh, I only promoted it, I wasn't involved. But this one, he
like
said he was gonna make
CS:GO. What was that? CS:GO bidding or gambling?
CS:GO gambling.
Yeah,
I probably did.
thing.
I don't know. I don't really watch Logan Paul. The only thing
that was an old reference, like 2011.
Yeah, well,
that scandal.
CS:GO gambling is a problem. Stop spending money on crates, please. Dude, what is this? It's 2014, Team Fortress 2, 2012. Dude, people act like they're high and mighty. Getting these CS:GO crates? Dude, this already happened, bro.
Look at
Team
my
Fortress
knife.
2, dude. Come on. I played that. Dude,
I have a Damascus knife, man.
Wasting my Steam gift cards that I got for Christmas on $2.50 keys to open boxes on Team Fortress 2 when I was 11, dude.
Oh my gosh. I never played Dude, I didn't have like a computer that could run games. You know what I played back in the day? I played Age of Empires 3.
Okay, but that's based though.
That's all I could run though.
That's fine.
2007 Ubisoft Age of Empires 3.
I haven't had a computer that can run a game that's come out since like 2015, 16 probably. So, you don't need to. Really want to play Battlefront 2, but
like Battlefront 2001, Battlefront 2?
No,
2005.
The new Battlefront 2.
Oh.
Which I don't, because you can't just add clone troopers to the first game. You got to recreate a new game. That's the really nerdy zone. No, the original Battlefront 2 is very good though.
Did you ever play that?
Yeah,
I
dude,
played.
No,
the hell out of that game.
My laptop can probably definitely run that game. It's very good. If people have not played that game, check it out.
Galactic Conquest.
It's kind of hard. The story's actually kind of hard though, dude. The Jedi Temple mission,
Nightfall.
Oh my gosh, bro!
But it's Nightfall with a K.
Oh my gosh, dude! It's even. I don't even remember. I think I put it on normal difficulty, but even at that freaking mode.
The library scene.
Dude, that's so hard. It's so hard, and like it doesn't even matter what character you pick for that mission. It's just like freaking terrible hard. So.
No, dude, the Clone Commando with the chain gun.
Oh yeah, that's like your best bet. I think
yeah.
so. I tried to do it with the sniper one time. That's getting. That's probably putting it on hard mode even without that. So.
How hard did you go at that game? Because I didn't go hard on it until 2013. Like I didn't like really get into it.
I mean, I don't have like.
I played it casually. I was like, oh, I get the frenzy rifle, and then that was it. But like in 2013, I was like, I'm gonna max out the frenzy rifle so I can get it every time, like stuff like that.
No, I mean, I went because I didn't play it. I didn't play it when it was new. Like I played it like when I think I played it even after they shut down the official servers, and so they had like the fan run.
Dude, I was never on the servers.
Oh, really? You never played the multiplayer?
No, I just played against my brothers and stuff.
Oh, really? Oh, I guess that's a good way to do it, though.
Split screen.
You know, I bought it in like 2016 or 17. I just went on like a little dive down and just kept playing. And I don't know, man. It's definitely a good way to experience it. And there's no paywalls at all. I don't think.
No.
So yeah, that's how video games.
I mean,
should
there's
be.
one Clone Wars DLC. And I think it's free now anyway. So.
In what? The new Battlefront?
No, in the old one.
In the old one?
They added Asajj Ventress in it.
What?
Yeah.
Like before she was in the TV show? Or like she...
No, it's like a post-patch thing.
Oh, so the game was out and the TV show came out and they added her.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting character.
So if you have... There's 2 versions of it on Microsoft Store. If you have it on Xbox One. Because there's like... One of them is like 100 megabytes bigger into the Clone Wars DLC. You get like a couple more Coruscant maps. I think. That's like cool. You get Kit Fisto.
Nice.
So, if you really care.
Yeah, no. I mean, I like nerding out. It's good. Too bad the sequels suck.
Oh, I actually really enjoy the like the really bad one that came out in 2014. I actually liked it.
What episode? I don't know.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the games.
Oh, the games.
You're talking about the
I was
the
talking
movies,
about the movies. The
J.J.
sequel movies.
Abrams.
Yeah.
And Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Ray Skywalker.
It just there's I don't know, man. I don't know because you're a little bit younger than I am, but it's like basically when we were kids, like the prequels were coming out, and and then I remember
I'm like 9 or 10 months younger than you.
You're a little baby. You can't drink yet.
Oh my gosh.
You're a child. As if I do. Anyways, no, but when we were growing up, the prequels had come out recently relative, and then to when we were young kids when it was made for us, and then the Clone Wars TV show came out, obviously, and that was prime time for us.
Cartoon Network, baby.
Absolutely, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Tune in freaking Wednesdays, Fridays, whenever that show came on. Incredible.
I had to stream it on the Clone Wars website because we didn't get Cartoon Network.
Oh, night. Yeah, no, I remember having to do that for a couple Cartoon Network shows too. But yeah, no, and then we became teenagers, and then everybody was like, and I was especially like middle school around that time. Everybody was like, "Dude, these movies suck." The prequel memes.
Oh, the prequel
Reddit,
hate, yeah.
Reddit prequel memes, which is cringe, by the way, so cringe. But now they've done a complete 180 since they released the sequels. It's like, oh, these movies aren't that bad. It's just the George Lucas was kind of being kind of weird.
Well, we didn't understand.
We didn't know what was going
the
on,
point
yeah.
of them. We didn't understand that Ian McDiarmid being unbelievably exaggerated in his performance was intentional.
Yeah, well,
it was supposed to be campy.
Dude, yeah, I don't know, dude. I just we saw the guys in the white suits, and we're like, this is cool, which is what Star Wars is supposed to be. And then they made the sequels, which is like
the white. What are you talking about?
Dude, Clone Troopers, bro.
Oh,
come on,
Clone Troopers in general.
Yes.
Okay, I was like
the best.
501st Journal.
Exactly. it's good. But then I don't know. I guess it'll be interesting to see the sequels. I wish they retconned them.
They plan to.
They plan to?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
No, it is true.
No, because freaking Dave Filoni and The Mandalorian like wrote it so that it would make sense if they didn't retcon them.
Retcon. Okay. This is like really deep nerd stuff. But in the Star Wars Rebels show, which Dave Filoni's in charge of,
yeah,
they added this time travel mechanic.
I've never seen Rebels. There's time travel in Star Wars?
Yes.
What?
They added this time travel mechanic to where like there's a multiverse. And so they could just say, "Oh, that wasn't the one. Dude. We're in a different one. That didn't count." So
That's lame. That's a cop out, dude.
That's why Ahsoka's in The Mandalorian, because she was killed by Darth Vader and then they went back in time and saved her.
Oh, big spoiler. Is that? I don't know.
Well,
spoiler warning.
Spoiler was that she actually did die at one point, I guess.
Well,
if you say fine boom, I will add it in post.
I love saying the physical words vine boom. I don't know how cringe it is towards people, but I will literally say the two words vine boom after saying something. I mean, well, it doesn't make sense because when like Yoda dies, right? That's a pretty. You don't need to spoil. Was that episode 5, episode 6? I don't remember. Yeah, that's you know he's 80, dead, bro.
No, 83.
You know he's dead, bro. No, but when he dies, like there's one other. So we know that there's at least one other Jedi type person besides a Luke.
Princess Leia.
Well, that's the only one that would make sense. That's the only other person that would.
There is another. That's exactly. In episode 5, actually.
Yeah. That's the only other person that would make sense in that context. But then it's just like now we have little green guy now, and Ahsoka's still alive after the event, like,
and Cal Kestis.
Unless the cop out is that they just like, oh, he just doesn't know that they're alive, which is lame.
Well, I mean,
defeats the stakes of it.
When you write a story in 1981, Empire Strikes Back, or 1980. Oh my gosh, 1980, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, because the first one was what, 77.
I just know that because Raiders came out after, and that was 81. Raiders lost.
Oh my gosh,
oh my
dude,
gosh.
They're coming out the new Harrison Ford still getting the bag, dude. Dude, no. He's still getting the bag. The new movie's coming out.
Wasn't he in like another movie on like HBO or something like that?
Well, he still acts in non-Disney products,
non-IP,
non-IP stuff. He's still an actor, so he does stuff. But
I know he was in something recently. Him and the Rainbow guy. Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree with what they're doing. It's just like Indiana Jones 5 and he's old. I feel like they could have made way more money if they just cast Chris Pratt as Indiana Jones. That would have been sick. That would have been lit.
Just like a fourth wall break. Like, this is a remake.
Or just a reboot.
Yeah. Like
that would have been fine. That would have been cool. I think Chris Pratt would be an awesome Indiana Jones too. Just like,
I mean, Chris Pine was a great Kirk.
Yeah.
So reboots can be done until you mess it up with the fourth Star Trek Beyond. But that's okay.
Dude, now we have Shia LaBeouf in Indiana Jones, dude.
He was always in there.
I know, but that's just like...
Dude, have you heard the story behind Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Like, the making of it? Like, how that happened?
No. Well, was that before...
Spielberg didn't want to do it. And then Lucas was like, I want to make another Indiana Jones, but make it really corny.
George said to make it corny. I mean, Indiana Jones is corny. It's literally buff American guy punches Nazis, but that's what makes it awesome.
You can't blame the Jewish director for that.
Dude.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. There's that one YouTube video essay that's talking about, yeah.
Revenge.
Yeah, Spielberg's Revenge. Dude, good.
I haven't seen that. I have not seen that one.
I've watched like halfway through that video, but it's like good. Those movies are awesome. Especially 1 and 3. I can watch 3 all day, bro.
Dude, did you know
lit.
The order's out of order?
Of Indiana Jones?
Yeah, it doesn't go 1, 2, 3.
Well, I know that. I guess that's actually not common knowledge.
It isn't, even though the dates are in the movie.
Yeah, literally. Well,
I had no idea until later.
You had no idea?
Yeah, I learned this like 2 years ago. I was like, Temple of Doom is before. What?
Yeah, Temple of Doom is a prequel, and then Crusaders is a sequel.
Which is why he's kind of an asshole in Doom, which makes a lot more sense. But like, yeah, I don't know why I didn't know that.
And then there's Russians in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, so hopefully you should know.
Hot sword chick. That's about it.
Kinda, I guess, yeah. I don't know, dude.
Kinda.
Dude, I'd have to pull it up again.
She had like the Karen haircut, but she's Russian.
No,
so it's fine.
dude, that's the main reason. All I'm thinking about is her in the freaking Lego Indiana Jones game, bro. In the bowl haircut, dude. I'm not a fan. Not a fan, to be honest. But
I never played the expansion version. I only had the original adventures that came with the Xbox 360.
The original
with Kung Fu Panda.
The original
at the same
adventure,
time.
Yeah. Those are good. That's a good series. Well, they made that, and then they made the extended version with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
All they did was just add like a
free
new thing.
They added like open world type stuff, which was kind of fun in a Lego game. But though, you know who was freaking good though in Crusaders, bro. I want to pull it up, but.
Crusaders?
Yeah. Crusaders of the Lost Ark. What's her name?
What?
Dude.
Crusaders of the Lost Ark?
Oh, my fault, dude. Dude, it's like 9 p.m. Dude, it's my bedtime. I don't know what's going on.
Raiders of the Last Crusade.
Raiders of the Last Crusade. Yeah, that sounds
Raiders
about
of
right.
Lost Ark, and then there's Temple of Doom, and then there's Last Crusade.
The Last Crusade. Correct.
The last one, riding into the sunset. Supposed to be the last shot. And then they were like,
yeah, and now they're making episode 5. I haven't even seen the trailer.
I just want to add aliens to my thing. I'm going to go see it just because I want to see Indiana Jones in theaters because I think that'd be fun. Just for that experience.
That you did it.
Well, I've seen Raiders in theaters. They re-released it for anniversary, and I went to go see it. It was amazing.
Oh. Dude, I don't think I would go out and spend the money to go do that. I've seen that movie so many times. Obviously not enough to know what the title is, dude. What? Raiders of the...
You wouldn't see Raiders in theaters if they were like, hey, $10, go see it?
Well, I just don't really go to the movies anymore, to be honest. I'm one of those people. Unless it's like...
The cinema is dying.
Dude, well, it's not... I haven't gone to see Avatar yet. It's just because I don't care.
No one cares about Avatar.
I don't care.
Someone made a really
good...
Like
10 years.
Somebody made a really good observation about Avatar and its cultural impact. He said there's been no memes about the movie.
Yeah, who said that? Someone said that.
Jay Schlatt.
Oh yeah, huh?
There have been no memes about the movie. That means something.
That does mean that. There's not any. Well, I remember Jack's Films, the comedy YouTuber. I don't know if you're familiar, but
I know the name.
Yeah, but I remember he did a video a long time ago because one of the big recurring gags on his channel is going and interviewing, well, just like bringing up Avatar basically before these new movies came out, and just to be like he went up in California on like just like on down the beach or something, and he's like asking people, it's like, can you name one character from Avatar? I will give you $50 or something, like 20, 50. It was like $100. I think he's like trying to give. Like, I will give you money if you can name one character. They can't do it, dude. They can't name a single person. I think one person did, like one or two people, and that's it.
There's a great video essay about the music that was supposed to happen for that movie.
That was supposed to happen?
Yeah, it's by this guy called Sideways. He's a great music YouTuber, and he was talking about how they had trashed this actual score that had created a new type of music for the native people. Like a new genre.
For the new genre of music.
Yes.
For the blue people?
Yes, for the blue people. So anytime they were on screen, it would be like their like in-universe style of music.
And
it was
you'd have to
like because it was too foreign to like people. They couldn't like it. They didn't catch it.
Well, because there's no context to that. Then I can understand why they would make that decision. That's definitely. I mean, if you're talking about just
very pure James Cameron thing to do.
Yeah, if you're just talking about pure art, though, I think that's pretty admirable. Like if you're just like, let me like create instruments for people to have this new form of music to listen to in this movie. I don't know. It's
Thank
fun.
you, Hans Zimmer. Oh my gosh.
Hans Zimmer, yeah.
We made this a bass baduk for Dune, and we played it into a foghorn, and that's why it sounds this way.
Yeah, he has the masterclass ad that he does, and he's like,
"That's a really good ad.
I really
enjoy
it is a
that
good
ad.
No one likes ads, but that is a good ad to be
Every
honest.
master, dude. The Herbie Hancock
Yeah.
ad has been memed to hell.
Well,
it is so funny.
Especially if you're a music fan, the Hans Zimmer one is really good because he's just we put French horns in the ceiling.
Four French horns on the right, 4 French horns on the left.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the Herbie Hancock one, I have to say, the famous video of Herbie Hancock playing a lick, and then Miles Davis glaring at him.
Oh yeah.
The top comment on that video is, what is it? Now I just killed the moment. What did I just do there? Or something like that. Like, the very first line of the Herbie Hancock Masterclass ad, he like does something on the piano. He's like, you're probably wondering, how'd I do that? And that's the top comment on that Miles Davis video. It's so fun.
Yeah, someone cross-reference it. Yeah. I don't know. I've seen the Herbie Hancock one a couple times, but it's just not enough to remember. It's the Hans Zimmer one is definitely super memorable because he's just like, someone can make music on a laptop in the Bronx.
Some kid in the Bronx can make it on a laptop in a garage.
Exactly.
Shout out to the Dead Mouse one. Oh my gosh. Have you seen the Dead Mouse?
Yeah, I've seen the Dead Mouse one. I think if you're on music YouTube, you've definitely seen both those ads.
Probably. If you're on video essay YouTube, you've seen
either of those. Yeah.
There's the great astronaut guy one, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, starts with an
Robert
H.
Hatfield or something.
Something like that. Yeah, that guy's super cool though. He's very fun.
He's like one of those. Oh my, there's so many videos about him, and like, he didn't actually go to space. He was like this amazing actor. Chris Hatfield, I think.
I think it is Chris Hatfield. Yeah, they think he's an actor as opposed to a
scientist,
an actual scientist that's been in space. Even though there's videos of him
in space
in zero gravity. Like, how do you even fake doing
that? That would be
so
hard to fake.
Well, to fake it, you could do levels of it, I'm sure. But like one of the best ways you could fake it would be like going on one of the 0G planes.
Oh,
but that's not exactly. Yeah, that's not exactly cheap to do that. So
over and over and over again.
Yeah, to get multiple shots.
Let's just fake the degenerative tissue of bone marrow.
Exactly.
And have these guys have ton of medical issues.
Like, let's make this pen react perfectly to how he pushes on it, floating.
The greatest VFX artist of all time.
Exactly.
That's corridor crew shit.
That's like faking the moon landings, bro.
But they did that.
Yeah. Moon truther.
I don't know what that is.
It's when you believe the moon is fake.
A moon truther?
The moon. If you're a moon truther, you believe the moon itself is fake and it's a hologram.
Oh, the moon! Not even the landings, but the moon itself.
The moon itself, yeah.
The cheese grater.
I like. Well, the term truther is just, it's generally used if like you just don't believe it. Then it's not even a conspiracy. It's just it like doesn't even exist. So.
The moon isn't real. Wow. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Even though we've been to Mars, bro. Where do they think these pictures of the Mars rover? Like, where is that? In a studio, bro?
In a Mac.
In
Adobe After Effects. I don't know.
Unreal Engine 5. Dude, they recreated Mars. It's not real. Mars is not real.
This is just No Man's Sky screenshots, okay?
No Man's Sky.
Did you ever play that?
No. Well, apparently it's like there's the infamous internet historian video.
Oh.
Well,
yes.
He talks about how it was like terrible when it came out, but like out now it's like actually an okay game.
Well, it was terrible for the average consumer.
You know what was a terrible game that was super hyped?
It could be any game. From
That's
the last
many
5
games.
years.
That's facts, actually. Yeah, but no, the infamous 76.
Oh no.
Also, internet historian video on that one. So.
Oh my gosh.
And they ruined John Denver permanently, dude. It's so sad.
At least it wasn't his recording.
Oh, that's true, huh? I didn't think about that.
It's a remake recording. It's not even,
they had someone in their studio do it.
Oh, I'm trying to think. There was another game that was just completely like the Halo 5 Guardians.
Oh, yeah, Halo 5.
Like where they changed the story.
Fan,
well, they changed the story halfway through the marketing. And so.
That's awful.
Yeah. So the marketing team, great marketing. Like really solid. Like if you look at marketing for a game, Halo 5, amazing. The people they contracted for that, they got the old script and then they updated it after all their stuff was done.
Oh, after they marketed it?
And they released all the trailers anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Not good. Almost as bad as Destiny 1.
Destiny. Yeah, Destiny is also terrible. Dude, there's just so many of these grand strategy, like...
I still play Destiny, though.
Dude, that's you and every Destiny player. It's like, oh, this game is terrible. I keep playing it, though.
It's really bad overall, but there's certain things that are better than any game, specifically.
You play Destiny 1 still or Destiny 2?
Destiny 1. Destiny 2 is garbage.
Okay. Destiny 2 is garbage?
Yes. Well, okay, let me say this
Destiny
again.
1 still has a player base, though?
Barely.
Barely,
I'm talking
course,
like 30 LFG posts on a Friday night. 30.
30.
3-0.
Nice.
D2 is not a bad game, but it's a bad Destiny game. Does that make sense?
There's only been 2. So it's a bad Destiny game even though there's only been 2?
Yeah, like as like part of the IP of Destiny, it's not good. But as just like an MMO in general, it's a very good game. Like if you like Destiny 1, you're not going to like D2. But if you like some other MMO, you'll probably like D2.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Well, it's just I'm not a huge fan of these like grand strategy games like it started with an A, Anthem, dude. Oh, no. That game was like had a huge hype release.
That's one of the most infamous ones.
Bad.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. So hyped.
Dude.
Bad. Dude, I remember because I got into Cyberpunk.
Don't even get me started on Cyberpunk.
Have you played it?
No.
No. Yeah, don't waste your money on it.
Because I can't run it with my Gen 1 Xbox.
Dude, no one can run it. You need a freaking Marvel Studios computer to run it half decent. And that's the problem. It's like they release these. It's just like I got into the cyberpunk genre on my own because it's just like I think this stuff looked cool, and it was just like, oh, I'm gonna wait, dude. Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out. That looks like a lit game.
Oh my
gosh, it's just not
Let me
good.
Fist away from the microphone. If you like Cyberpunk, look up Space Wave Cosmic Relaxation on YouTube.
Space Wave is it? Oh, it's the ambient.
No, it's a different channel.
It's a different channel
dedicated to cyberpunk vibes.
But it's a cyberpunk vibe channel.
Yes.
Wow.
They'll
dude,
have 2-hour ambient cyberpunk noises.
Yeah, no.
I have one downloaded on my phone.
I like the vibe. I like the city you're gonna get stabbed vibe.
Tron Legacy by Disney is what got me.
Yes, dude. Tron is a good movie, to be honest. Even the most recent one, it's kind of good.
Shout out to Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. I like the well, you listen to the Create Unknown by Vsauce 3?
Yep.
Vsauce
2.
Yeah. Oh, is it by Vsauce 2 or 3?
2.
Well, they've had each other on though.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I like that.
Tabor.
I like that. I like the vibe of their little intro in the background a lot. It's a cool little thing, and I like.
Oh, dude, the YouTube background is so cool.
Yeah. That's what got me into it, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and then I am like
You
later
were clowning on that. I sent you a clip from that, and you're like, "This is garbage. This is a terrible take."
on whatever you sent me was that someone had a terrible take on something.
And then you were like, "Oh, I only listened to half of the conversation." You're like, well, there you go.
Well, that's the problem. Well, circling back to the very beginning of our conversation here, the people that cut up podcast clips into a couple seconds, bro. I guess that's me. Part of the problem. I listened to enough full length conversations. Whatever it was an L take.
You get enough Athletic Greens ads.
Oh, I hate, dude, bro. The worst is Joe, dude. I listened to.
Dude, the worst is Andrew Huberman. The first 20 minutes is ads. At least you can
Oh,
skip
yeah.
it.
Dude, well,
At least you can skip it.
Yeah, I remember you sent me one and you're like, listen to this. And then I'm just like, the first 30 minutes is like, this is horrible. What is this? It makes sense for his format. But yeah, dude.
I'm glad he at least reads it.
Well, dude, I listen, not going to lie, listen to some JRE, right? I am a college-aged man in the United States.
Cis white male listening to Joe Rogan.
I'm in the demographic, right? But dude, his ad reads are bad because he doesn't like make them good. He does them obviously in like one or maybe two takes, and so he mispronounces words. And so I understand why he does it. It's just like, oh, I'm just getting paid quick. I don't care, because his whole vibe is like, I don't care. But the thing is,
paid for that Spotify deal.
How much did he get paid for Spotify?
Yeah,
$100 million.
Dude.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't think he realizes that, like, he goes, Jamie, his small team, whatever, goes through a lot of effort to make it sound good for people. But then he does the podcast, he does the ad reads, which are terrible, but millions of people are still listening to your terrible ad read. So it's like, I don't want to hear you mispronounce a word for 3 seconds.
Well, listening,
it's just so bad.
And or being exposed to your terrible
Yeah,
ad.
exactly.
I don't listen to them. I download the episode and listen to it off of Wi-Fi, and I don't get any ads.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and then you download it without playback, so you don't get the weird glitches.
Yeah, I need to do that. Well, I hate putting the effort in to download podcasts, to be honest.
Dude, you tap.
It doesn't. Yeah, I know you tap. I know it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it's just like,
I hate.
Dude, I'd be rolling in the car, and it's like, I just gotta pull it up really quick. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you just like, you see it come out. You're not gonna listen to it as soon as it comes out. You just tap it, and then you pull it up later. My episodes on Spotify.
I'd be listening to things as soon as they come out, though. Sometimes, like, I see.
There was
them
one
pop
that I
up.
listened to as soon
like,
as it came out. I forget what it was. It was pretty recent though. It was. Oh man, it was like 2 months ago.
Are you telling me you don't get in your car and drive multiple times a day, randomly, and you just see a new podcast pop up? You don't click on it?
No, dude. I have
know
I
what
have
your
a
life is
list
like?
that I go through. I compile lists every couple weeks of podcasts.
How many podcasts do you go through?
In general?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think I have like
How many different or
6,
how many
yeah.
episodes?
6 or 7, like different things, different people.
Okay. I have Huberman.
I think I have 6 or 7.
I have JRE, like once in a blue moon when he has someone cool on. I have Jocko and
That's a good one.
TCU.
What's TCU? Not the football team, I imagine.
The Create Unknown.
TCU in the college football national championship. Be like,
dude.
Now you know how to line up the audio right there.
Oh my
it
gosh.
Didn't even pick it up, I think.
Oh, it definitely did. It capped you out.
Let's go.
You definitely peaked there.
Anyways, podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So like 4.
That's it. Well, I guess I mean, like, specifically. Well, those are all people that have really long ones. I listen to ones that are shorter, which is
okay. Actually, now that I think about it, that's just all I've been listening to as of late. Like last year, we had the Monday morning podcast.
Classic,
right?
Classic right there.
We had Chuckle Sandwich.
Another good one right there.
And recently, Sleep Deprived podcast, because I just kind of need to turn my brain off for a little bit.
That's a really good one for turning your brain off.
It breaks my brain sometimes, dude.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the latest one? The fast food takes?
Yes.
That I have been saying that about Popeyes for years.
Who said that?
Jay Schlatt said that.
Was he like Popeyes is mid? I can't
No,
remember.
he was saying that. So Popeyes is so good, right? It's really crispy. It's great. But all of that is immediately canceled out by the shit feeling you get like 10 seconds after you eat it.
It's been a long time since I've gone to a Popeyes, but I'm sure that's the case, yeah.
It's a good thing. Have you gone to Monroe's Hot Chicken in Tempe?
No. Have you gone to Big Chicken? Started by Shaquille O'Neal?
No.
You know about Big Chicken? Dude, he's opening up a store here. Shaquille O'Neal.
I'll go to Big
His
Chicken.
business. Big Chicken.
It's such a stupid name, dude. I love it though.
Big Chicken. Yeah.
Big Chicken.
I don't know.
Dude, I bet it's small though. Shout out to Small Chicken Canes. You reduced your size in 2020.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Same price.
I don't
though.
go very often, but I did notice that.
However, they give you more fries now, so it's okay.
It still tastes good though.
Dude, Monroe's, I kid you not, ruined chicken for me. Like that's how good it is.
Oh well.
Like
For
I
our-
can't go to
For our
like
Arizona listeners,
Popeyes anymore.
For our Arizona peeps,
Any Louisiana hot chicken.
all three of them. It's Louisiana hot chicken
Like-
in Tempe.
Well, it's called Monroe's hot chicken, but
Monroe's
any of
hot
those like
chicken.
dry rub, like Louisiana hot chicken places, that's where it's at. Like I can't eat Popeyes anymore because it's like, well, if I want to kill myself eating fried chicken, I'm gonna go to Monroe's.
Is it
though
like a
it's-
sit down place? Where is this?
It's literally in like it's just in Tempe. It's
Is it
like a
next to the
normal
school?
like just slightly higher fast food thing,
Okay,
in and out.
so it's like Big Chicken.
Like I
In
don't
and
know
Out?
what Big Chicken is.
Dude, come on, bro. It's Shaquille O'Neal's chicken business.
I don't know what Big Chicken is.
I love Big Chicken. I've never been to Big Chicken.
Dude, my little brother, I was taking him out for dinner one night because I was like, oh, I'll be a nice brother. And then he was like, I want to go to Mr. Beast Burger.
You
And
can't
I
though.
told him, no, we are not getting Mr. Beast Burger. There is a place you can go and get it. It's
Well,
not
yeah,
like
there
a
are
Mr.
places-
Beast Burger location, but
there's no-
they will serve it to you there.
The only physical one he has is the one that he made a huge video about, right? It's just that one in North Carolina.
I don't
think
even
that's
know
it.
if that was permanent or not.
Oh no, it is.
Oh, it is?
It definitely is. Well, he built it into a whole mall, so I'm sure it's permanent. But no, you just like
Just on the app, yeah.
you get them for delivery from places, or there are some places where they make it, but it's like not the restaurant. So,
Yeah, it's just like the restaurant also makes this. It was one of those spots.
mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Beast Burger. Man, food is... I don't even know.
I'm not the biggest Mr. Beast fan, to be honest.
I appreciate... Actually, that's the one. That's the Jerry I like tuned in immediately
Really,
to.
the Mr. Beast. Well, that
Yeah.
was good.
I was like...
It was interesting to see
It was
someone.
big for me because, like, as a
Yeah.
YouTuber to get on there, like, that's huge.
He doesn't have many. If he does, there are people that do other things.
I don't think he's had any other YouTubers on there.
No, he does. He has YouTubers on there. Like he's had More Plates, More Dates on there. Who's a YouTuber?
But they
He's
run
like
a
fitness
show, right?
Well, he does like it's like he does like fitness social media work, but he is mostly a YouTuber, I guess.
Okay.
He doesn't have a lot though. It's probably just because that's not his medium, though. To be
Well,
honest.
yeah, he doesn't want... Like, he didn't know who Mr. Beast was. His daughter had to tell him. How do you not know
Oh,
who
that's
Mr.
true.
Beast is?
Yeah, I forgot about that. And he got
Like, Mr.
recommended
Beast
from
was
his
on Jimmy
kid.
Kimmel. Mark Rober hosted Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
In his Glitter Bomb 5 billion.0. I used to like Mark Rober back when he did the liquid sand video in his hot tub.
Isn't he dying?
What?
His content.
Oh,
I don't know much
I was
about.
like,
I don't
does
know
he have
much.
cancer?
No, I don't think he has cancer.
No, his
I-
content is
I
he's
don't
still
follow.
clocking 67 mil on a video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's it's
I have not. I have
insane.
not. I've seen him on my recommended a couple times. I've maybe tuned into like one video.
I appreciate
So
what he
don't follow him.
does as a content creator, but I just don't like his content. It's a little vanilla,
Well,
which is why he can get 67 million idiots
yeah.
to watch
Well,
him.
the whole grandiose content thing, like mass appeal, is definitely it's very vanilla. But
Mass
that's
appeal.
That's the
That's a great way
point.
to put
They're
it,
just
yeah.
trying to get.
I
Like
hate mass appeal.
Jimmy said it himself. Like he's literally just doing whatever he can to get the most views. So
Yup. And he'll just trash a video and be like, "Hey, Ludwig can upload this if he wants to," which doesn't like how.
Ludwig,
Ludwig Algren, ASU alumni.
he's dude. Harvard of the Southwest for sure.
Jeez.
He's incredible in journalism, no less.
In English,
We have some
oh,
amazing alum here.
like
Him, former Governor Doug Ducey.
he's an
Andrew-
Arizona native.
Who?
Doug.
Doug
Ducey?
is not an Arizona native, but he went here for college and then stayed.
okay.
So
I guess that kind of counts. Your formative years. in Arizona.
Well, he is an alum, whether you like it or not. You know, he got his undergrad here.
Good for him.
And then the comedian, I saw it on Tempe Barstool. Andrew Santiano or something like that. The
Sounds
guy that,
familiar, yeah.
yeah, the redhead guy that does podcasts with Bobby Lee.
Oh,
Very controversial.
Yes.
But yeah, that guy, he went to ASU. He was on Tempe Barstool talking about, he's like, yeah, anyone can get in here, but that's the point. All my friends spent thousands and thousands of dollars on college, and they have some bad job. And he's like, I'm making bank as a comedian. And I went to ASU.
I thought you were
That's
talking
what I'm
IRL
saying.
for a second there. I was like, what?
Huh?
I thought you were speaking IRL there for a second. When you said
IRL?
all my friends paid thousands of thousands of dollars
I mean,
just for bad
some
jobs.
of them, bro. Some of my friends that lived here and like decided to go to California for school, or like,
Dude.
why? Unless it's getting paid for, why are you going to some
pay
big
for
school?
USC for online COVID school.
I don't exactly, dude. I don't understand why anyone would leave the state that they're in to go to college unless it's like for an Ivy League school or Stanford.
Like
Why are you
very
leaving?
specific, like Juilliard.
Yeah, I guess.
Still, first year at Juilliard. Don't go first year at Juilliard. Don't do that.
I mean,
Whether you like it or not, you still have to take your core classes. It just happens to be at Juilliard.
Juilliard, yeah. Juilliard has some interesting people come out of there. I know people now from there.
I feel like Juilliard is not as cool as it used to be. Does that make sense?
What do you mean by that?
Because it used to be like, oh, you went to Juilliard, now you have these opportunities. But now it's like, oh, I saw this Instagram reel of you. Now you have these opportunities. Like, there's some great people coming out of UNT.
Oh,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
absolutely. That
Like
just
freaking Joe Dart
yeah.
of Wolfpack is from University of Michigan.
I did not know that. Volpec is awesome, dude.
Dude.
Some lit music.
Corey Wong was here in December, and I really regret not going to see him. Content just freaking... He vomits content, dude.
Yeah.
Like, so much. It's really impressive. Dude, he posted... you know who Michael Blant is?
No. Sorry to kill your excitement. Visible on your face.
It's okay. He only played for Prince. It's okay.
Oh.
He's drummer. And he posted...
Well, people don't know who Ringo is.
He posted a 30-minute tracking session in the studio with Michael Blant, which is like pulling back the curtain on genius. And he's just like,
oh, you see what's going on?
let me just post it on Instagram. Like, that's insane, dude. That you can just watch
they're
that.
real.
It's a real thing. I think about it all the time.
You know who's not real? Hip hop artists. A lot of them, anyway.
Like their brand. Like they don't live out their brand.
Their brand, or who does most of the work for them.
Oh, okay.
Or
yeah. I thought you
their
meant
actual
like
vocal
they're
ability.
not real hood guys anymore. Oh my gosh. I thought that's what you were talking about.
Well, I mean, we definitely don't have people from Compton out here as much telling real stories, at least. Like freaking.
That's what I thought you meant.
Well, I mean, that is real too in a way. Well, because didn't Jay-Z deal drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he made it
like,
big singing.
There was a reason that like a lot of 90s rappers are dead. I mean,
well, yeah, they
were real.
They had actual beef, actual grievances and grudges of people that want them dead. So
that's what I thought you meant.
No.
They're just not good musicians. Is that what you mean?
Well, it's just like, you see on the, like, if you ever watch the Grammys, you watch it and then you're like, you see all the people who actually worked on the song itself. And it's like this hip hop artist who's very popular.
Like the 7 writers.
Yeah, the 7
song,
writers, the 25 producers, like the mixing, sound engineers. They're like, it's just so, like, you need more than the artist to make the music happen, of course, and get published. Not always, but even the Beatles had like George Martin, right, to do stuff. But
having like one producer or like another writer, like. But once you get into like close to 10 or over 5, that's like.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. You look at the Grammys and it's like a list of. It's like it looks like movie credits for a song. It's like what is going on here? It's just like not you. Which is part of the reason I like, like jazz musicians. It's like I can see what you're doing on this YouTube video. It's just you playing this instrument.
Yeah.
It's like you can prove it's just
It's like
this person
I added
creating.
reverb in post, and there you go. Like,
Yeah,
that's all.
well, that's why live music is lit too. So
Live music is something I have not really delved into, unfortunately. I need to. Like the last the only like live show I've really gone to was Harry Connick Jr.
you
but
are
that's
a
it.
live musician though.
That's true.
So
I was thinking about getting back into it. I was asked by I told you about this, right?
yes.
And I said no. For context, I was gonna do a jazz thing, and I said no because they gave me a
Oh.
heads up a day before when I was supposed to have to take off work to do that. But that's fine.
Oh yeah, you got to pay the bills.
Well, it's not even that. It was Christmas time at a church.
Oh, they wanted you to come play at the church.
No,
church
you have
gig?
to work. Like
Oh, you have to work
Ha-
at the. That's why.
all
That's
hands
why
on-
you had to go to work.
all hands on
Working at
deck
the
at Christmas
church.
time. You can't literally when you sign to be working at a church, you pretty much say, "I have to work in December."
During
Yeah. Like
we gotta set
you
things up
cannot
for
take
the,
off vacation. Like it doesn't matter what happens. Like you
the big
cannot.
man
Yeah. Big man upstairs.
and Easter.
Rip live music. Which I guess is a good segue into music tech. Oh my gosh. Band.
We love band here.
Band.
I love band. I hate band, but I also love band.
So walk me through your tech at unnamed high school as of this point.
Yeah, we don't need to name drop the actual place. That's kind of weird. But it is kind of weird to be a semi-public figure in that way.
You are so cool, man.
I'm so cool.
You're so cool.
for doing this thing.
For being a tech, man. You're a celebrity.
Hardly.
In the eyes of high schoolers, though.
I
you
guess.
Are. You,
yeah.
No, you
well,
seriously, you
yeah,
are. I was
yeah.
joking, and then I was like, actually, that's not a joke. That's real.
Well, so really quick, because if there's not band-oriented people listening, all three of you.
Nobody listens.
Nobody listens to the podcast.
Nobody
No, I'm
listens
gonna
to
send
it.
it out. We're gonna blow it up. Okay, this is gonna be the biggest one. I'm gonna put it on my story. I'm gonna say blow this up, and I'm gonna send them.
Oh, and then
say,
they'll get
only-
access to all my solo episodes.
Only listen
my
to this.
gosh.
Yeah. Don't dig through the channel, guys. No. But in case you are wondering, a technician is a member of staff in the music context. So usually this would be like if you are performing a play, like a Broadway play, let's say. If you are an audio tech, you work on the audio system. And so if it's this like pageantry arts, which is what I do, which includes theater.
Wow, that sounded really official.
What?
Pageantry arts.
That's what it is.
That's what it's called?
Yeah. Well, I
Jeez.
mean, it's like a general term, but it makes the most sense for
Pageantry
it makes the
arts.
most sense for what it is. If you do that, I help teach a specific thing.
In
so
this
I'm like
context, it's just they bring
technician.
you in to help the people.
Yeah, you help you. I'm an assistant coach
Assistant teacher.
for band specifically and how people move around on grass. So, what you want me to tell the story of how it happened? Well, I guess I did want to say though, it's just like you said, that I'm like it's like a big figure in the eyes of the high schoolers.
Yeah. I just want to talk about it because I also want to ask you if I would be a good tech and if I'm dumb for thinking I would be a good tech.
Well, anyone can be.
I
Obviously
know anyone can be a tech.
Anyone can.
It's
Well,
the quality
Well,
that-
yeah. Well,
Shout out to my 8 drum techs.
yeah. But the thing is, even if your experience is limited, it's the quality of the teaching that ultimately matters, and that's something that I continue to focus on too because I'm new to it, and I think I can improve in that way. But so long as the teaching itself is quality, then you can be a good person and then get paid for it, and that's good. So you can do it even without experience. I mean, like for yourself, if you think you would be a good one, I mean, what are you trying to do though? For someone like
What do you mean?
like what are you trying to teach is the thing. Because I would need more context to be like, would I make a good assistant
drum
band
tech?
teacher, good drum tech?
For marching band, drum line.
Well, the thing is, you don't need like.
Yeah, we don't need credits. I don't need to march blue coats for 5 years. I understand.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like that's like the way that you are able to be a competent teacher is you need to know the ins and outs of what you're talking about, right? But you don't necessarily need certain experiences to back that up. So, for instance, at the place that I teach at, right, there are a lot of people who have like, obviously, they've gone to college for music, but they've not like been a part of independent ensembles like drum corps, winter guard, international. Like they haven't done that themselves, but you know, those people would jump off a cliff. Like the students would jump off a cliff to follow their teacher because they trust them so much. Like they understand. It's an analogy to be like they are a competent teacher still in that way. And there are people that like they have completely other careers, but because they know what they're talking about and because they can deliver consistent results, and that's good. So it's just like for you, if you're worried about what would I be a good technician, right? It's like, are you able to help kids improve? Do you know what you're going to be talking about? Can you help challenge and encourage their skills? And do you know how, like, do you have the chops to back up what you're saying? Like if the kids, if you
That's
can't,
the biggest thing,
if
is the
you
chops.
can't, yeah, if you can't play the kids book better, this is kind of the weird thing, right? So it's like if I were to talk about this summer, right, it's like my visual caption head and my visual staff members, right, from drum corps, they're not out here doing the visuals like with us they're not like rehearsing it with next to us like a dance teacher might, but they know exactly what's going on. Like they know what things are supposed to look like, even if they've been like kind of retired for a little bit, like they put a couple pounds on, but they still know what's going on. So you don't necessarily need to be like whip out a snare and then play their book perfectly, but you should be expected to be like, if you were to whip out a snare and then within a week be able to play their book better than them, that should be the standard, I feel like. So
Okay.
like for me personally, that's something that I think about. It's like if I'm focusing on visual aspects, is like, would I be able to march better than the kids on this field? And it's not like I'm not saying that as like an ego thing, right? It's just
I
like,
didn't know you were brought in as a visual tech. I thought
that's
you
my
were music.
that's my focus. Well, I'm able to do both things, but that's my focus just because the person that I work for is a lot more experienced in that. Like the person, so there's like, it's a very supportive program, right? So there's me, my boss, and then the actual director. And my boss literally goes to school in performance of a particular instrument, right? So he knows what's going on. He's getting 6 years of education in just this one instrument. So he should obviously know stuff about music. But it's like my comments wouldn't be at the same level as his. But the thing is, the reason I focus on visual is because they don't teach you that in school, right? It's like if you want to be a like a band director of a high school, you got to teach the marching bands at high schools, but there's no like drill design class in college. Like they don't teach you anything about that. So that's where people like me come in. So
Gotcha. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of high school directors who make their own drill. I don't think that's normal. I know there's a lot of college directors who make their own drill, but high school?
High school, well, from what I've seen, it largely depends on the budget of the school. So again, it's another thing. Anyone can write drill.
Money.
Anyone can write drill, but writing drill is hard, and that's something that I'm planning on getting more experience in. It's not easy to make it clean when you write it. And so if a school doesn't have a lot of money to even get if a school is a limited or low budget, that's probably the number one thing they're paying someone else to do, because it's just so hard to do. But there are cases where band directors will just have to like write their own drill. That happens every once in a while.
That sounds awful.
It sounds like it, yeah. But the thing, I mean, a lot of band directors have experience from probably the independent ensemble world or college band, so they kind of understand what's going on. Like,
I'm just thinking like workflow as a high school band director.
oh, to like
Well,
just stop and
to,
start writing
just
drill.
to like put that on top of everything else.
Well, yeah, unless you have your numbers completely set before the summer even starts, and then you have like all summer to work on it, then then you have a lot of time to work on it and make it good. But otherwise, yeah, you have to deal with concerts, concert ensembles in the fall, and the actual marching program itself. And then while you're writing the drill and you have your numbers finally set, which is, it's a big problem, and especially in the COVID age, it's like it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do band. It's like, dude, your dot matters. Like, are we gonna have a hole on the field the entire rest of the season? Like,
I love non-committal people. They're my favorite.
Oh, geez.
I love the yes, no, and my favorite's the maybe option.
Maybe just means probably.
That means no.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it means we
probably
don't care.
Not. Well, on most contexts, anyways. I don't know, if you say like a high school, if it's like a middle schooler that's about to go to high school band, and you're like, hey, you want to do marching band, and they say maybe. To me, that's just like, oh, they need some convincing to make it work.
They need more exposure.
They need more exposure, yeah, some convincing to know what it's about. But
I meant like at like you're in high school, and they ask you, not like recruiting people. That's not what I mean.
Well, and what? Saying maybe about what though?
Just like
anything.
You're a freshman already, and they're like, do you want to do the march band
next year?
Yeah, next
year.
year.
You want to do band next
and they
year?
say maybe. Yes, no.
That means, yep.
Go do welding club instead.
If they've
there's so many other options.
If you're not hooked into the whatever it is, freshman,
get them young. You got to get them young.
Yeah, if you're not hooked by the first time you do it, they're probably not going to come back. Unless the only reason at least from what I remember is if a kid were to leave and then come back, it's just because they had some time commitment thing that they couldn't make it work. But yeah, even if you join late, then people stay. I know a couple people that did that. So
it's a machine, man. I guess like when I think about, I would be valuable in being able to tech, right? Would just be like understanding the approach from a high schooler's perspective.
Yeah.
There's plenty of moments when I was learning how to play instruments, right? And I was giving this great advice if I already knew how to play. Does that make sense?
You were given the advice if I already knew how to play by a teacher?
By a teacher. It's like, this makes sense to be now, but back then that meant nothing. Like now that advice would be great for me to hear if I'm sucking now because I'm familiar with the instrument. But it's like as a high school student who doesn't even know how to hold their sticks correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
that just sounds like an insult almost.
Well, no, it's just like it's there. It is good advice. I'm saying it's good teaching, just not to a high school student.
Right.
Right. And also like with the expectations of high schoolers, like I was like the whole drum line was treated like they wanted to be there for the same reason that the tech wanted to be there. There was no one ever asked anyone, why are you here? What do you want to get out of band? That was never a question that was asked. And like to a high schooler, like a teenage egocentrism person, that is everything. Like if they're not getting what you
want to get out of this.
what you want to get, like just understanding the psychology of like young teenage band students, it was totally lost.
No, yeah, that's something that I definitely try to emphasize. Well, that's a. So here's why I think people like you would be beneficial to do this is that most people who tech are around the age out drum corps age, which is 21 or 22, and then they continue to do so after that period for a number of years. So like 23, 4, 5, and if the people that keep doing it after that are usually the people that like they have a side gig or they're like a band teacher themselves and they're helping out, or if they're like really good at what they do and they just keep coming back. So that's like, like our guard technician from where we're from. Yeah. She keeps coming back for that reason because she delivers consistent results, even though she has like a whole life. But the advantage of specifically our age group is just like high school wasn't that long ago for us. So we know what's going on. And that's part of the reason. That's part of what I keep in my head a lot. When I teach visual, because it's hard enough being a band kid as it is. And it's like if you make like choreography synchronized, it feels cringe when you're doing it, right? If you do it by yourself, you look dumb. But if you do it with each other, that makes it better. And if you do it good with each other, then you start to
To
look
the music.
to the music, then
Yeah.
you start to look cool. And that's a big thing. So it's hard enough being a band kid, but if you can start to make that cool, then that gives you an advantage. And that's like a perspective that's like, oh, I just remember high school was only a couple of years ago for me. It's just like I want to try and look cool, and that's why I got drawn to independent ensembles, because it's like, oh, look at this marching band that's like playing the Beatles, which is actual music that people like, right? And it's like the choreography is really good, the music's really good, it's fun, there's fun solo stuff. Like people that don't know anything about band would be like, oh, this is kind of lit. And so that's a perspective that people like you and me can throw on. It's just like, what do you want to get out of this? Like, oh, I want to look cool. Okay, here's how you can look cool. Get your feet in time first of all. So that's something that I think that you can do. So it's especially it's like you ever seen the Leo P video? Leo P on saxophone.
The BBC proms
The
one?
BBC proms. Leo
pink
P.
hair?
Pink
Yeah.
hair on the saxophone. Yeah, I've been rewatching that video a lot lately, and it's just like
I prefer the trumpet man in that one.
he's very talented. It's very good. Sometimes less is more, and he's an example of that contrast in that video.
The trumpet guy, yeah.
The trumpet guy, yeah. Even though he does some pretty cool stuff,
Cristiano
like
or Christian something. I am so sad
yeah,
I
he
don't know
does
his
some-
name.
he does
'cause
some
he's
valve.
way better.
He does some valve squeezes and stuff. Really good stuff. But the point is just like Leo P dancing, playing crazy stuff on the saxophone in sync to the music. It's just like that video has 14 million views.
Yeah.
It's not all band kids.
That's a gateway music YouTube video.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just like, so that's a perspective I think being a good high school tech can good, because we know how to. If we're this slightly younger demographic of people who were to teach, like we're gonna be the youngest people that would teach high schoolers. Period. Like almost all of the time you need like a college degree to teach high schoolers in any capacity, right? Unless you're like a student teacher, and then you're in college for education. But for us, is like this is our job, and we're going to do this, but we're not even college graduates yet. So we understand what it's like for them to do that. So, but in order to be a good tech, you got to back it up. So I don't know, if you're trying to be a drum tech, my guy, you got to
Dude,
sure
that's
you're hitting
that
it.
is the main reason I wanted to jump on this early, because if I want to do that, I got to like start drumming again.
Yeah, you got to be good.
I haven't picked up sticks since, oh my gosh, like 2020.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 years.
I don't doubt that you can pull it back, of course.
I could totally pull it back. I mean, I've been pulling my piano back gradually.
Yeah.
But
The personality matters the most, obviously, because there's just so many.
I feel like when I was learning drums, right, and learning piano at the same time, I had two different instruments to contrast. Like, okay, this is process, right, and this is also process, and I was able to apply that. And so I feel like I understand the approach. Like, I was better at learning something than I was at playing something. Does that make sense?
No, I get that. Like the process of learning music was so much easier, but then when you actually had to like come around perform kind of time, it's just like you kind of suck. Is that what you mean?
No, like performances were never an issue.
I remember.
It was
smoking.
It was like you treat every practice like it's the main event, and then the main event is just practice.
Oh,
But that was my whole thing, because I remember talking to some of the other people, notables in band, and they're like, "Oh man, this is state. I'm so nervous." Like, bro, like I've done this like 400 times.
That's what you need to do, and that's advice that I remember giving to other people way back in high school. Like I had limited independent ensemble experience by the time my senior year, right? But that's all performances are. You're just doing this thing you've practiced multiple times.
Yeah, it's like this shouldn't be something you're nervous about. It's like you're presenting something you did. It's like, look what I did. Like, this is cool, right?
Yeah.
But that goes into the whole cool conversation. But just like I think about the idea of like doing. Man, this is taking it back. Like practicing for winter groups and whatnot in their books.
Yeah.
Like, once like I feel like I was able to figure out how to approach those exercises way quicker than other people. They just like were just naturally better than me, but I was able to learn at the same rate as them, even though they were better musicians.
Well, they probably just have a deeper bank that they're pulling into. That's probably why.
No, dude, they're just
Some
good.
of them.
Some
Some of them are good. Well, some people just are good. Some people are just good at their instrument.
for example,
They just pick it up.
forget
and
her
they're good.
name, but this one girl who was not in band and wanted to be in band because her girlfriend was a guard person. Was like, oh, I should do band so I can hang out with her, right? And within a year, she had joined a winter group
Oh, for winter percussion?
for snare
Or
drum.
for snare drum. She picked up snare drum
She,
just to join
like-
band, and she joined. Dude, some people are just
Dude,
freaking
it was
good.
nuts.
Yeah. Well, there are people. So if we want to get super bando, right? There are people.
Band.
So the top 6 of drum corps. This is the most elite ensembles for the marching band world. There are people. It's they're all bell curves, right? Of people, the types of people that get in. But there are people that have, high schoolers that have never done it with any other group before, that are just really good, that make it into the top 6. And it's frustrating to be somebody who just like has to kind of work a little bit. Even now, it's
Well,
just
I'm
like, man,
sure
I feel
you
like I
have
suck, but-
something that is the equivalent of that. It's just not. It just happens to not be in band.
Well, yeah, I'm sure every human has something. They have natural inclinations, which that they're naturally talented.
With piano, for example, like that's something I'm naturally good at. Drums, I am not naturally good at. Like I got better at piano.
At least it's music.
Yeah, at least it's music. But like, I never got a lesson for piano. Never blah blah blah. Right? As the people like to say, I never got my lesson cherry popped, which is just a very odd term, but I had to throw it out there. But I never had to work for piano. And I am way better than drums, and I worked way harder on drums. I would
You
say
feel
like
like you're better on drums than piano,
No,
or
like,
the inverse.
I put in 8 times the amount of work on drums, and I'm
To get
still way worse
better.
at drums.
Yeah. That's
It's-
welcome to music, baby. That's what you do.
It doesn't make
I don't
sense.
know.
I mean,
Well,
I've been on
that's-
both sides of the coin. Like, man, I think this is just really easy. Like, I know how to do this. Like, oh, I can play jazz. There you go.
Yeah.
And then with drums, it's like I can't play a single paradiddle. Like, this sucks.
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate that some people just win the talent lottery, especially, well, people have that natural talent for something in life, I'm sure. Like everybody just has something. But if you do music specifically, then it's a secondary lottery when you're like in 4th, 5th, 6th grade, or if you join band later, your decision when your brain is tiny.
Which instrument you choose?
Yeah. So for you, if you, I don't like, when did you start playing piano?
Freshman year.
Of high school.
Yes.
Which is insane because I remember that progression was insanely quick and very good. And this dude fool's a good piano player, right? But if you had started playing piano during piano lessons when you were a kid, you'd be
I don't know if I would have liked it though. I don't know if that would have turned me off from the whole thing. That's another
part
risk.
That's part of the lottery. That's part of the lottery,
Yeah.
the music lottery. And it's like literally those decisions you make when your brain is tiny, you don't even know what's going on. It's like that's what affects you. So it's just like, I don't know, dude, these kids that pick up trumpet, it's like some of them literally need to switch instruments if they want to join marching band by the time they're a freshman because they just still suck so bad at trumpet. Or they become like Arturo Sandoval, right? And they're like playing triple C above the staff at the Super Bowl or whatever,
Are you mentioning that video by
George Collier
when the staff looks like a flute or something?
Yeah, when the trumpet music looks like a flute score. Yeah, I am specifically referencing that video. But dude, that's facts. Even there's like sub lotteries. It's like, okay, you have natural talents as a human being. Okay, you want to do music. You're 11 years old. Here's the instrument lottery. Pick one. Oh, you may or may not be good at this one. So some people are just good. There are people. It's kind of frustrating that to this day, literally today, it's like I'm learning stuff about my instrument. That's like, man, I kind of suck at some of these things still. It's like I don't go to school for music like as a major, but it's like,
but you are proficient.
Yeah, I mean, I would say proficient, but it's like to learn at a collegiate level, which is what I'm doing this semester, is like, it's like just, man, I'm not good at some things still, and like to still be like, there are people that I know that like are even they're like involved with it at a lesser degree. They just pick up the same instrument. It's like they're blowing some crazy stuff. So
I don't know, like when it comes to learning, I feel like that's my thing. Like I figured out how to learn really early, and I just applied that to music, right?
Yeah.
Like when I don't know, when I have an issue, I can like qualitatively break down exactly what that issue is and what exactly is working and what is not working.
Which is something that's really good for teching.
That's
for
what I'm saying.
yourself, so
That's
you
like
might-
I
you might
feel
do
like
that.
I could, like some person isn't like, make sure this specific thing. Are you doing this specific thing in congruence with this other specific thing, right? It's like, oh, and also like just how high schoolers process information. I feel like techs do not like that. They just, why would you think of it if like there's certain things you don't even think about thinking because it's
When
so
you're teaching?
well, just as like because you're not in high school anymore. Like why would you think that? Like it doesn't even the notion doesn't occur to you.
Yeah. Well, it's easy for people to continue to think about their current experiences and just think about that and then try to replicate that with what they're teaching.
Like for example, like if you think about Remington, right? That stupid warm up.
Yes.
The idea
It's a
that
good
that
brass
is not that's not a foundational
yeah.
exercise. That's insane to you. Like, of course it's foundational. That's what you build upon.
Oh,
But a high
when you're in
schooler-
high school,
when you're in
like,
high
why are we
school-
playing this stupid long tone?
No, it's okay. I learned this song, and now I'm gonna go play something else. And that song is in this little compartment that is Remington, and that doesn't apply to anything else they're playing because they don't even approach it the way you approach it. And why would you think that way? Because that's just how you work. It's like, oh, Remington is foundation, and now because I can play this, I'm gonna go play this other thing, or something like that. Whereas for them, it's like, oh, here's Remington. Okay, cool. Now where's this other thing?
Sucks. Yeah.
Like I think about how I used to think about double beat, right? I was like, oh man, this is a really cool groove.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all it was. It wasn't foundation. It wasn't, oh, I can apply this technique to the show. That never occurred to me.
Yeah. Well, this is probably, you had a different experience with techs than I did, slightly different types of people. But that is absolutely,
all different types of people.
That is absolutely something that our program, and I'm sure thousands of programs across the country struggle with, is that there's a gap there between applying concepts to what matters, what actually matters. For me in visual, right, I know exactly. So your analogy, right, is like you tried to bring it to like a Remington exercise, long tones for wind players, right? Double beat for you and percussion. For Viz people, Viz block. We love Viz block. We love doing across the floors. And then you put them on you put them in the show, and then the legs are bent, the crossing counts are out of time, the forms are crooked as they're moving across the field. Like, dude, the fact that the term kaleidoscopic drill, the fact that I didn't learn what that was,
I don't know what that is.
The fact that I didn't know what that was until this past summer when I finally did top 12 is crazy. So for you, kaleidoscopic drill, audio listeners,
Love you to death.
Pulling the Ted Nivison reference out. Love you to death. So I'm moving my hands around in certain shapes, but I'm keeping things connected.
I could add this visually because it's just
don't
like a
do
few
that.
seconds.
Don't do
No?
that. That's cringe. That's
Just for
cringe.
like 2
Please
seconds.
don't do that.
Don't do that?
I
Okay.
don't do that, please. Please don't do that. I literally, okay, my hands are in a W, right? And then now I'm moving my pointer fingers closer together, like I'm now I'm making a U. Like the drill, you notice how like the shape continues as it moves, right? So like here's set 1.
So it goes
here's
from W
set 2
to U.
W to U,
But it's
set
like
1 and
blocks.
2. It moves in blocks, and everything stays connected.
Oh yeah, I know.
But
yeah.
in drill, these high school kids, and this is why have come to really grown to love doing this, is that connection, which I realize needs to happen, that didn't happen for me a lot. I love my high school visual techs, right? They did a great job trying to build our program up, but it was in the first couple of years of them trying to do that, right? So they didn't have a lot to work with, to be honest. But for me, with like dealing with kids that know what's up,
with the epic school.
yeah,
where people actually care.
With people that know what's up, it's just like this concept is like, okay, you're at here's set 1. it's a W, and set 2 needs to look like a U. This shape needs to hold as we move. Like my freshman, sophomore year of high school, I'm just thinking about my dots on the field. I'm just like trying to stay in the same place next to
Yeah,
people.
you're thinking a
I'm not
line is
thinking
the
about
shortest
that.
distance between 2 points.
Yes, and yes, for real, dude. And that's all you're thinking about. And the huge thing is like once you move this form, like the movement is what matters, because so much of the time, as we try to make this shift happen, you'll see people popping out. It breaks. The curves break. The lines break. People aren't taking the same pathways or the same step sizes, right? And it's just like that connection from like what you said earlier. The fact that you recognize that is what's going to help you if you go ahead and continue. If you want to do the teching thing, you or anyone else that's listening, that making connections like that is what matters the most. Being proficiency. I don't care if you march BD. If you don't understand the fact that you need to make that connection, then it doesn't matter. But like, yeah, to TLDR it's like you need to understand the context in the kids' brains is different, because you need to understand how this foundational skill, taking consistent step sizes in visual block, you need to put that in the drill. Because if you don't do that, you're going to pop out of the drill when it's on the move. And then it's just going to be like, picture, flub, 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 whatever, doesn't look like anything. Picture kind of thing. Flub, 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 doesn't look like anything. Just random bodies on a field. Picture.
Yeah.
But it's just, especially if a program, if visual techs are new to a program, which is what our case was, or if the program's a little undersupported, you just have to focus on things like foot timing, which is what I think our case was. It's just like, you got to get the choreo together. Gotta please get on the. Why are you on the right foot? Please just get on your left foot.
If you
really
can't
quick.
walk, you can't run, or I don't know. I hate that saying.
What's whatever. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. The recent high school grad becoming a tech is taboo, right? You don't want to look.
I didn't know that was taboo.
High school grads becoming techs.
Yeah,
that is kind of taboo.
Really?
It was for us, at least for you and me. Even if it wasn't for you personally.
Don't name names, but
no,
I still don't know what you mean.
Well, there was a culture of kind of recent grads kind of being kind of creepy. Well, this isn't unique to us, but
people
it was
sticking around.
People sticking around that didn't need to be there was a problem, and because of that, it's like, oh, you graduated from this place.
Yeah. Hence why I want to do it next year after all the people I know are gone.
You're right.
Yes.
Which is part of the reason I didn't want to go back myself to that specific place, is because that would be kind of weird to have people that would know who I am.
It's weird because you transcended that, which I'm in. Let me explain that. So
I don't know. Yeah, that's a very vague statement.
Sorry.
What does that mean?
So the people who knew me personally are the only people who know who I am at Red Mountain, unless they look at their warm-ups and see my name.
Oh, everyone else, they don't know.
And now if you talk to people now who like never saw you once, they know who Mark is for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. It's really weird.
Well, I had a reputation, I guess.
Yeah, like first, like if you come up like, oh, that's the guy that I've heard the name. Like for me, it's like unless you read fine print, you're not gonna know my name.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna get too detailed here, but I've had people that I don't know personally reach out to me, which is really
that's what I'm saying.
That's something else. That's something else to have that happen. That's happened a couple times, or just like. Not necessarily
from our old school.
Not necessarily to reach out per se, not like for advice or something, but like
a little comment on your post,
something like that. But it's just like, this is interesting to have people know who I am. Usually that's a bad thing, but so I hope it's a good thing.
Okay, that's what
me and my boy from the days. Your other guest, we had some
classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
There's some stories there, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can't fraternize with your students.
No, that's not you can't do that.
Yeah.
Which is why, it'd be fine for you to do that. You haven't to give enough of a gap, because that's just weird. That's again, there's such a culture in the pageantry arts, unfortunately, of creeps. So many creeps. In that way,
in the arts,
in the arts period, a lot of creeps in art, unfortunately, and That's definitely not a good way. Oh yeah, I remember. I was gonna round it back. There's just you want to minimize how much of a creep you want to be. So for me, it's
We're
like
talking about pedophilia. Cool.
yeah, yeah. Well, that or just people who are
Predatory
weird,
behavior.
yeah, predatory
Yeah.
behavior
Like
in the arts,
slimy producers in Hollywood.
which
Yes,
is
everywhere.
part of the problem in the arts. Like fine arts is no exception, and that's where the taboo of people, recent grads coming back, we've had some problems in our experience with that. But there are programs where that's completely normal, similar to like where like
Epic school.
yeah, where some programs where it's completely normal. Seniors who are proficient because of that culture, they come back or they graduate 1 or 2 years. Like they don't even like some of that you may or may not have independent ensemble experience, but you were good when you were there and you can return, which is something that you can do yourself, my man. So yeah, it's unfortunate that such things happen in the community, which is why you need to give it space if you do. But it would be really exciting if you do.
I feel
You'd
like
see each other around.
that would be weird.
It would be
I have to
weird.
go buy a
It'd
suit
be fun,
if I
though.
want to do that. But
Probably not for you. I gotta wear this sometime.
hey, if you make it to what is it called, Super State?
Super
State. Yeah. If you do that, you gotta wear something nice.
You gotta look pro.
But yeah, that's the thing with high schoolers. I feel like the culture is, it's obviously it's always changing, but just the way that kids accept information is so like it's very specific. I don't want to say kids because we're only like 2 years removed, you 3, but
We can drink. I can.
can't physically.
Don't. Can physically, yes. Legally.
Physically,
I am
and
not
you
a
can take
child.
the ramifications. Anyway,
Well, when do you not become a kid? It's a fine line. 30. Is a 29-year-old a child? 25.
I know 40-year-olds who are children.
20.
Okay.
That's facts right there. 25 is probably a good number.
Oh, you cut me off in traffic? I'm gonna cause a wreck now just because I'm mad. Anyway, what I was saying
That
with
happens.
yeah, just like the way people accept information, like the importance of having things stick rather than having things thrust upon somebody is a completely different thing. Like I was like I said, like I was never asked what I wanted out of band once, which I think is a crime.
Open communication is very important.
Yeah, like for also just
Something I got to do more too.
so like with text, I always got the vibe that they were like, oh, they're above us and we're like there to help them look good,
Which is terrible.
right? And it's like now it's a service job, right? And just explaining to the kids what sucks, I think is really important, but more importantly, how to overcome that, right? Like, okay, this like I fully expect if I go there for the drum line to not have a drum break for the 6th consecutive year, which is also a crime for drummers, but you know, we can't all have directors who like
Has that
drums.
happened?
I had never had a drum break. We never had one.
That's a lie. We did in 19.
No, we didn't.
It was small. No, it's there. I'll show you after.
You talking about like the 3 measures?
If you don't want to count it, I guess. Yeah.
That-
Not like a long time, but
Drum break meaning that every like
In-
in
there
order to
ain't- there ain't no
classify as a
tick- tick-
drum break, each like drum section has to have a feature within
oh,
that. Like here's the
a drum
snares,
feature.
here's the
with-
tenors, here's the
oh.
basses. That never happened. Not once, and it's probably a good thing because we sucked. But
Well,
there was no
you don't wanna-
motivation to
you
get
don't-
better.
You don't want to tank your music score, your GE score, both GE scores, probably your Viz score too, by putting something in that wouldn't make sense
Well,
to
that
be
yeah,
proficient at. Because
But-
you need to have the repertoire score and the proficiency score, and if you can't have the proficiency score, then it's bad.
thinking ahead, right? You don't just add it in post, is what I mean. Like there from its inception, it's just in the thing. It's not like, oh, we need a drum break. Let's just throw it in here. That's what I mean. Anyway, like the fact that there was never a drum feature, so there's never a reason to like show up and be good.
To challenge yourself, yeah.
They got rid of all the cadences. You're not going to play as much. They got rid of a lot of the culture, so there's no reason to enjoy yourself there. I just feel like for high school students, if there is not a specific reason for them that they can see and they can
for sure.
touch, not that they can see, but something they can touch pretty much. It has to be that close. Then they're not going to show up. Okay.
Yeah.
And why, like, we were expected to care about these concepts that were far above what we were able to, like, understand as 16-year-olds.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a balance between the things that matter towards, especially high school kids. Like, you need something to be challenged for, and if you don't have anything to be challenged for, then there's not progression. It's just you're showing up. It's well for a wind player, right? It's like, okay, our show is quarter notes. That's not no one wants to do that. And it's for you what you're talking about. It's like, oh, there's no, the drum parts are not challenging, but
They were challenging. They just weren't important.
You need the people. You need the people to be able to achieve it for it to be justified to continue doing. And so if you have poor techs, poor performers, the culture of people
it's
that
like
don't
a
want to work
circular
towards
thing. It's like, if it's not there, then they're not going to try. But if they don't try, then there's no reason to put it there. So
yeah, so it's an unfortunate cycle. And then if you try to kill the culture, then that's a different thing. It's tough, man. It's tough. You have to keep the balance. You definitely gotta keep the cycle in the balance good. So
yeah, I mean, like, there's so many specific things that I could name that now in hindsight I was like, man, that was not good. Whereas I thought, like, it was kind of just like, okay, like, fine.
Are you talking about teaching or performance quality?
I'm talking about experience in general.
Sure.
Like, experiences. Like, I had the opposite effect of the rose tinted classes. Like, while I was in it, I was like, oh, this is great. And now as I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was not good.
Fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they don't understand that at a high school level, this is for the kids. This is not for you.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about teachers?
I'm talking about, like, programs.
Oh, yeah.
This is for fun. This is for the kids.
This
is not to make you look cool among your other band director peers because you scored a superior distinction at Super State.
That is definitely something that is a problem. So it's like, I try to be humble with myself, right? It's like, I look back, like, I'm a visual guy, but, like, I stare at myself in my own videos. It's like, why is my back rounded so much in this video? I look terrible.
Because you have a spinal issue
gosh.
with you.
No, dude, there's some videos out there that absolutely haunt me. They're so, it's just like,
you talking about the 2019 head cam? Or the 2017 head cam video?
No, the 2019 head cam is good.
The 2017
it's down
head cam.
right now. The 2017 head cam is not good.
The over-the-rainbow head cam.
It's not up. One of the most viewed videos on the channel, too, which is unfortunate.
Well, it was the only one on there for a while.
It was the only one on there for a while. But not even that, but just, like, even, like, my most recent season, like, I'll see myself in other people's videos, and it's just like, I'm looking at myself, it's like, what am I, like, I can provide excuses for why I look like that. It's just like, oh, I look weird at the end of the season. There's no excuse to look like that. But it's like, oh, why didn't any of the visual staff point it out for me? Or, oh, we were originally taught to do it that way and nobody else did. But the point is that I'm getting at here, it's like, I have excuses to be that way. But at the end of the day, it's like, why do I look like that? I look like a complete dork. I look bad in this. I try to be humble, right? I try to be humble with talking to my boss, who has a lot more experience than I do, but he graciously gave me my job. But I try to toe the line with being like, oh, I know how to make my legs look straight, though. Okay, I can smoke you. Okay, I can smoke you on 8 to 5 straight leg. Okay, I know what this drill is supposed to look like. I understand what the math is supposed to look like. I know the choreo. I know what your arms are supposed to look like. The thing is, it's like, I try to admit to people, it's like, oh, I don't have the most experience, but I want to do the best I can to give the best experience to other people. I phrase it as, what I do is giving back. Because it's like, this isn't my career to teach, right? So really, I'm just, like, doing this to give back, and I try to admit
for fulfillment purposes.
I try to give my own. I try to be humble, like even again, just like relating to literally today. It's like, man, I got stuff to work on my own instrument, but the thing is, with what you said, there's toxicity in every career, but in the arts world is no exception, and there are directors who whoop their kids. For what? For literally, like, these kids are not having fun. It's like they're doing well, but the culture is really toxic at these places. Or you have techs who are very self-fulfilling and they think you suck, which is like, even like there's people in professional orchestras that I know, and I've talked to people who have had lessons with people, some of the most famous instrumentalists in the world, and they have a lesson with them, and they're like, yeah, you suck. I don't know what else to say. And it's just like self-gratifying teaching. And it's like, I personally have been coming to terms with like need to like checking my own ego sometimes. Like I tend to cope in that way. But in the arts world, there's a lot of people who just like, oh, I'm doing this because I'm good, and I this is like for me. That's not why you should be doing it. And it's just, I always make sure I got to check in with them. I'll double check. I got to catch myself from thoughts about doing that. But it's like, there are definitely some people where it's just like, dude, what are you talking about right now? Like,
you know what's so weird about that? I have a confession to make about ego, right?
It's good to confess your ego.
But like back in the day, in sophomore year, right? So it's really interesting because, like I said before, I worked really hard at drums and I was pretty mid, and I didn't work at piano at all and I was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And so I had that contrast there. But for some reason, when I saw people playing piano, I was like, ha, I'm better than you, even though I knew exactly what it was like to be on their end, but from the drum perspective. And it is so odd that, like, as an immature young person, it didn't even cross my mind that was, maybe don't do that.
Well, you need to make sure. So, I try to be humble with myself and my own ego, right? But you need to make sure that you, like, if you're trying to ego trip, especially the problem, I'm sure it's not even arts. It's teachers in general that are like they go on ego trips, and guess what? They're like the worst teachers ever.
Yeah. I feel like anything where it's performative, whether that be a lecture being a performance, right? But anything performative.
Yeah. And I've had some terrible teachers in that way. The thing is, you just got to make sure that ego, and this is something, even again, I'm going to try to be humble here, not like trying to boost my own ego by admitting my own humbleness, like fourth wall break here, but you got to make sure.
I think I'm a pretty mature person.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to try to phrase it the best I can. I'm just like confessing here along with you, is just, you need to make sure that it's confidence so that you have the authority to teach people or be good at whatever you do, while also meaning it's like, yeah, man, oh man, you found that video of me? Yeah, I kind of suck in that video.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to SCV guy who was like, yeah, you saw that head cam? Yeah, that head cam sucks.
Well, yeah.
SCV 2019. Nope. Yes, 2019 person.
There's weird things that happen and everything, yeah.
But like, second half to that ego confession, like, I came around. It took a second because it took someone else doing what I would have done for me to see it, which is so stupid. Just to understand how nearsighted we can be.
They're talking about as a performer or
as a piano player.
Oh,
right. Because when I would see someone playing, I don't know, like Minecraft or Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Because that's all that was playing.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh man, I got to go over there and play some real music, right?
Oh yeah, in real life on the piano. Yeah, you got to play some real stuff on the piano. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, I got to go over there and play I don't know, like ballad in G minor, right? Something stupid. And that would always go through my head. I was like, man, I got to do. Sometimes I would go over and play, and they would just like walk away slowly. And like inside, I'd be like, oh man, yeah, I'm cool, right? And then someone else told me, hey, you should go over and play something because they suck. I was like, why would you do that? That's such an asshole thing to do. And then at that moment, I was like, oh, wait, that's what I've been doing this whole time. And it just took someone to like say,
just let him play the Minecraft music, bro.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even just let him play. It's like, wow, that's really cool that they are getting fulfillment out of an instrument that I love so much, right? It was a total switch.
And the problem, some people just don't have that realization ever, in whether it be in art or in life.
Yeah, that's why like one of my little brother, like he wants to work out with me. That's great. Like never have I thought like, oh my gosh, I can bench like way more than him. Like he's doing like what he's doing for him is a lot, right? Like there's some moments where I was watching him do like incline press. Like I think it was it today? No, it was yesterday. And I saw him get out of like a situation that I know is like really difficult, and I saw him get out of that, like, I don't know, it's a certain like mental block thing you have to get through. I was like, dude, he got through the mental block. that's
Yeah.
really cool. It's the difference between like cheering someone on and critiquing them almost, but like I don't know. It's so much easier to support people than it is to be like, oh, I'm better. I gotta go do this. You know. I
Yeah,
gotta go.
you have to have the realization first, though.
That's
And
true.
that's the
Like
problem.
I don't know why that's the thing that baffles me the most about it, like how powerful ego can be, because I was that kid on the drums, but I wasn't on piano. And for like my piano side was like, let me go school this kid, where I was also that kid just in a different context
Yeah. So
of music.
you can't let that affect your teaching. So being humble is good. You know, I continue to think about that, and you know, thinking about what they're thinking of and sense of humor is all very, very good. So
Like just the idea like of, because you said that you've run into this. Like this is almost, it's weird because I've swung so far the other way that it's hard for me to imagine someone coming in, like taking time out of their day, going through all the paperwork, showing up at like 6:30 in the morning, setting their alarm, and just going there
unbelievable how some people be doing that, bro.
just to clown on high
We do that,
schoolers. Like what?
Exactly, dude.
Like that just seems like so much work for so little gratification.
That's the difference between your teachers who have taught you and my teachers, is that I definitely realize that the ones that taught us were definitely doing their freaking best at 6 a.m, dude. They didn't have too much to work with, but it's like they definitely weren't trying to ego trip at all. And they were, you know, constantly checking up on us. But
It's like think of a worse crowd to
good
ego
versus
trip to.
bad. Yeah, high schoolers, bro.
Like that's as
they're
low as it
gets. They're thinking about
It's
themselves.
like going
a lot.
into like
not to dig,
like a
but
room of firstborns and being like, "Look, I can walk. Take that." It's like, like okay,
for real, dude.
I don't know, like because
They don't know what's
that
going
used
on.
to be me, but now I can't even understand why you would do that. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like I can't connect the dots.
Well,
I
just
was like,
people
that's
that,
not
like,
enough payoff.
Poor emotional regulation or something.
I don't know, man. That's just weird.
But yeah, I have a proposal for you.
Uh-oh.
The first ever time capsule podcast fade out break.
Oh, we've had one
We've had
already.
we've had a break.
Yeah. Do you need a break?
Let's do that really
Okay.
quick. I need
Okay.
freaking water, bro.
3, 2, 1. Ever live.
We're back. We're back.
2 topics I want to, before we get off this specific thing, is the idea of ecosystem, and you don't know what they don't know, right?
Again, that's very vague. Go ahead.
Yeah,
and explain
ecosystem first. Like I told you that to your students, you're amazing, you're a celebrity, right? But I don't care about that. I bet a lot of people who don't know what band is,
Like you as Ben, don't care about that, or
Well-
some hypothetical
well,
third person.
me as
doesn't
Ben
care?
almost, like I don't care that your students like you. Like that doesn't affect me at all. Like I don't need to.
Well,
care
I'm not
about that.
like
No,
a lot of them don't know who I am. To be honest with you,
Do you know who I am?
no, a lot of them don't even know my name.
Well,
But I have a reputation.
yeah,
though,
meaning
still.
like in the band world, the fact that you like, I think I talked about this a little bit. Like in the drum world, if you can play, you know, like paradiddles at 200 BPM, that's a big thing.
yeah,
But like if you don't play music, you don't care at all. Like in film, like the fact that you can craft a frame, nobody cares. You don't care about that.
well,
Like
that's
you
a
as a
huge concept in the arts, is about nobody cares, which
Yeah.
I can go on a whole tangent
seriously,
about.
no, like no, like, and also the idea of like within the high school ecosystem, just understanding what theirs is not what yours is. They don't.
What they care about.
Yeah, like you kind of broke the fourth wall many times in our high school in terms of, you know, social situations.
Well, I like pointing out people's weird things.
No,
Yeah.
just this is the whole idea of like you totally changed out what makes people cool, like by breaking the fourth wall. Anyway, that's a whole other topic
Yeah.
to do with the friends thing.
Yeah.
But meaning you changed what is cool by you brought in the whole DCI phenom thing, right?
lovely, yes.
Yeah, nobody cared about that before.
It was, well, there's a mild interest where we were from. There's some people that have done the academy here, but not
a
lot.
when we
Not a
were
lot.
in band.
when we were there.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's only one
Before the
other
revamp.
person. Yeah.
yeah, like nobody cares about that, and maybe you care about it as a tech, but nobody gives a shit that you march the blue coats. Like
Dude,
Nobody,
that's huge facts, dude.
like
Oh, I
especially
wanted to
high
talk about
schoolers.
this.
Like
I wanted
they,
to talk about this.
like
Yeah.
they don't even know what DCI is. Like
Yeah.
like the first thing I'm gonna do when I roll in after I ask them, like, why are you here? What do you want out of this? What do you want me to provide
You
for
should
you?
bring it up. Be like, look at
Right.
this. Maybe this could be something you can aspire to. But
I'm gonna show them like Babylon or something, or like some like Carolina Crown 2018 lot video,
exactly.
and be like, this
Yeah.
is the top of performance when it comes to drumming.
Yeah.
This is as far as you can go, because a lot of high schoolers, they think as good as they get in high school, like they've never seen, like think about anything. Like before Babylon, I didn't know euphoniums could play that high. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know a lot of things, right? And I don't know them, so I can't even like understand to aspire to them. I never tried to get better because I didn't know you could. I didn't like. Why would I try to fly unless someone showed me? Oh, by the way, you just do it this way. But now I'm going to devote all my time to flying.
Right. Yeah.
It's that type of thing. And then like, I don't know, like people just, they don't understand the high school ecosystem. Like what matters in high school does not matter in band.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about like drama?
No, I'm
do you
talking about
mean?
like, I guess just what matters to a high schooler is so weird.
Well, yeah. Well, it's like the little kid thing. It's like
It's not, like high school is its own world.
Yeah.
Like Snapchat is huge until you leave high school, unless you're a baby, right?
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like
No, I get what you're talking about. Well, it's like people like it's very obvious with little kids. Like you take away their toy, they start crying because that's the toy is their whole world. And it's like it's awkward to talk about that because it's like, you know, they're almost adults, but for me,
they're
it's
on
like,
the
I think about
cusp of adulthood.
yeah. For me, it's I think about drama anyways because that's, you know, that's their whole world is does this person in my math class like me? But it's like,
so
dude,
and so looked at me weird. My entire day's
exactly,
ruined.
dude. Exactly. But it's like it's hard for them to understand that doesn't matter. But I was gonna circle back.
Qualification.
No, I was gonna say something about
Blue coats.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So there's two things with that. Is like for me, you know, I just show up one day and there's a drum corps finals watch party my freshman year of band, and you know, I've just
You
been
talking college freshman or high school freshman?
high school freshman.
Okay.
Thanks for the clarification on that. And it's like there's a DCI watch party for that. It's like I don't even really know what this thing is. They're saying it's optional, but it's like, oh, everybody's saying I should go anyway. So let me go see whatever this DCI thing. I don't know what even this acronym means. Then I come to find out that it is what it is. It's like, you know, pro band. It's cringe it is to say those two words together. But it's like seeing, you know, the first gold winning show that I saw was Blue Coach 2016.
Same.
Which completely it's ironic that that's the one that completely changed the activity. But the fact that I could be like, dude, band can be this, like because when you're in middle school, high school, you don't understand the world, you don't know what's going on. You think of marching band, you're just like do parade. Oh, they do like a little fun kind of stagey type thing on the field. You have no idea. And I see these people that are like, they're playing Pink Floyd, they're going down slides, and they're running. It's like they're like athletes. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool. But for me, that's what inspires me, and that's something that you could definitely give to students to aspire to. Too bad it's dying. That's a whole other topic.
Oh,
though.
no,
Too bad
yeah.
it's dying.
Shout out SCV.
No, goodness. And countless others.
But like the whole idea of like knowing what is possible. It's like you expect like you're talking to these students like be the best that you can be, right? All this jargon and all this crap, and they are doing that. But if they know what is out there, right? If like I didn't know that we sucked as a baseline until I saw Blue Devils 2018 baseline.
Well, you can't really compare any high school
Well,
period
no,
to
I
a
because
BD baseline. But
it's like I thought what we were doing was really good. It was really high level because that's all I knew.
oh,
Right?
sure.
I didn't realize that high level for us is like baby for them. You know what I mean?
It's that's why high school band competitions exist. You compare yourself to those other people, and that's
yeah.
probably
I mean
what you
that's
aspire
cool
to,
too. It's like you see Corona del Sol. It's like wow, they have 60 percussionists. But like, and then you
they're
just
not
like
winning drums anymore. though.
I'm talking like old,
Maybe they
like
will.
2018 Corona.
Yeah,
But
they were doing good.
yeah, like just stuff like that. It's like, oh man, I remember we placed 8th or 7th in the state in 2017, right? And we were thinking, man, we're like good, and like we must be really good. And in reality, you're not, because you're a high school level, right? But
Yeah,
high
there's
school,
a
people
big
don't
difference
even
there.
know that band is above high school at that point. Conceptually, they know it exists.
They know about college band, yeah, but it's just like, oh,
But
how's that any different?
Have they ever sat down and watched a college band? Have they ever been?
Dude,
had
no
their
one does that.
Have they ever had their eardrums blown out
No one does
by the
that, bro.
SDMB 300 marching band?
Yeah, man.
Right? They've never had that experience, and so they don't. So no, it's no wonder they don't try, because there's nothing to try for.
Yeah. But I would say though, you just got to understand, if you were going to teach kids, some of them don't care at all about that. That's the problem. And some people really don't. I know a lot of people that's really
why the
difficult for
first
them.
question is going to be,
So,
what do you want to get out of this?
Exactly. That's a great mindset to have. It's just like, because I know I have a friend who was in color guard, right? And it's just like, when they were in color guard, it's like the person that was teaching them, this is a quote from my friend, they said, well, don't you want to be in drum corps one day? What a terrible line to say to somebody. What a terrible line, because dude, some of them
don't want to be a cringe lord someday?
Dude, exactly, bro. Some of them don't care, and that's fine. You don't need to.
Wait, they said this to high school students? I thought they said this to you.
No. My friend, their tech said, who was in color guard, said this to them. They said, don't you want to be in drum corps someday? This person didn't do drum corps themselves, my friend. But when they were in color guard in high school, that's what the tech said to them. Which is, gosh, because some people, it doesn't matter, dude. Some people literally don't care, bro. And
don't you want to be valedictorian? Why don't you try really hard on this math test?
Exactly.
Because I'd rather go hang out with my friends. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the balance. I think we have a unique position to understand what the kids are thinking of. Challenge to aspire from earlier. So quick wrap up. But I did want to say, dude, drum corps, all this stuff. Did I do my attendance number thing with you already?
No.
The listeners would obviously not know.
No.
All 5 of them.
I don't know attendance.
So,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Drum corps finals. There are people that don't watch any of the season. It's 3 months long. Nobody watches any of the season.
I'm one of those people.
I was one of those people too. You only watch the last night.
Yeah.
There are 40, probably less than that now, drum corps. 12 of them make it to the final day. The last day. They do the same show for months, and people watch the last day, the last hours that these people do this. 3-month long tour. Guess how many people attended DCI finals in 2022?
I don't know how many normally attempt this, so this number might not mean anything to me.
It's fine. Well, think about it. It's one side of Lucas Oil Stadium, which is an NFL stadium.
It's like 5,000 or 7,000.
So yeah, it's in the thousands. So the number is 20-ish thousand. There's no official number, but the guess is about 20,000 to 22,000 people, which is a lot. If you think about it, there's not 20,000 people to go see new NYC Phil, even, right? I don't know what the Phil NYC Phil what their concerts look like, because I'm sure they have a season, of concerts, but they probably get similar numbers for just them.
Like if you had 22,000 fans, you could live off of that, like as a band.
Yeah. If you were just like an indie band and you had 22K people, that's an arena. That's a lot of people, right? That's a lot of people to go watch people.
You can go perform at a full packed Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Isn't Madison Square like 50K or something? I think it is.
They don't fill up. It's like the lower levels for concerts.
Oh, but regardless, my point is going somewhere else. Is that's a lot of people to go watch people dance around on a football field, right? Monster Jam, monster trucks, right? They do flips and stuff on the dirt. I'm sure you're familiar watching it at some sports bar when there's nothing else on. They have competitions, right? I learned about this because of my nephews into monster trucks. And they actually have competitions and a season and a tour, just like band.
Wow.
And they have a finals.
That sounds so niche.
Guess how many? It sounds so niche, right? Specifically monster trucks, right?
Yeah.
Like
Grave Digger.
Yeah, exactly. Dude. Megalodon, bro. Come on. Dude. So this is kind of niche. It's like what adults want to go watch monster trucks, right? How many people?
Bunch of rednecks.
How many people do you think attended Monster Jam finals in 2022?
Well, now you're hyping it up, so I'm gonna say 50K.
It was 40K people. Over 40K. Twice as many people watch monster trucks than want to watch band. So there's these people that get all righteous. It's like, oh, you have to be so good. Oh, I'm gonna ego tripped about how I marched X place, or they care so
Or
much
even
about this.
Worse,
Dude, double the amount of people.
No,
This is
or
I'm
worse,
saying this as somebody who has done this too.
Like the worst
Double.
type of ego tripping. I know insert name. Oh my gosh. That's like another level.
Oh, I know some. I know name dropping.
Yes.
Name dropping somebody.
Name dropping DC
I heard about
people.
I heard that
Oh man.
on. Yeah, I heard that. I heard name dropping.
There's certain
on a
people that
podcast
we're not gonna name, but yeah, we could name drop the name dropper.
Well, some people it just doesn't make any sense. Well, like. Well, we've established that we're from Arizona, so I can say this. Well, it's just like people. It's just like I know Brandon Olander. It's like, yeah, he's like one of the best marching performers of all time. A literal goat would be a good way to describe him.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Brandon Olander is?
No.
Well, there you go. You're part of the 40,000 who went to Monster Jam instead. No, but he's the 12-year-old kid that played with Brandon Olander.
Shoot.
Yeah,
Okay.
I might be messing up his last name. Sorry.
I do know who that kid is. I
Yeah.
saw the video from 2008.
So the thing is with that, it's like, oh, I know him. It's just like, dude, he's from here.
Yeah, he's Tucson guy.
He's from Tucson. Yeah, he teaches here in the Valley. He teaches at a high school. It's just like it's not
The Tom Brady
name
of
dropping
DCI.
is so bad.
There you go. The Tom Brady of DCI.
Pretty much. But anyways, so we got over those two. Yeah, you got to understand that, like, also as a teacher, it's like, dude, these kids, like, they might have just gotten broken up with, and that's their entire world, their sophomore year. Oh, geez. Slightly relatable.
Or so-and-so isn't hitting their dot, and that's why they're screaming, because marching band is their entire world.
Yeah, so you got to deal with all sorts of those people on any given
So
night
many
that you're
world breakers.
rehearsing with them. Any given night that you're rehearsing with them. I mean, it applies to adults too, but you just got to be like,
Well, adults are a little bigger.
to bring back those two words that you said, and I am totally stealing this from the people that have taught me. Dude, nobody cares. You cross that sideline, dude. This is, again, stolen concept, but it's so powerful. You cross the sideline, dude, nobody cares. That's what people need to think of, and I wish they applied it to life more. But that's nobody cares is a great two words. That and shut up. I love those two. I love those four. Shut. Oh, those 4 words are very powerful. But I'm going to circle back into experience now too. So I know somebody who has had independent winter guard experience, which is good. Some drum corps experience with a shortened season, and some at the full season length at similar places that I have.
Real deal.
And doing the real deal, yeah, top 12S group, and they are teaching the drum corps level. So that's a testament, okay? It's not the experience that matters.
Wait,
obviously.
So have they retired from marching?
Yeah, they're aged out.
Okay,
So
but just barely, probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm not gonna like get too narrow on the person, but they like.
Well, no one knows who they are anyway.
Yeah, well, so it's just like they only have a couple experiences, and it's like they didn't like march coats or BD or SEV or anything, but they're teaching a corps that has been in the top 12. So it's like that's something else to be able to do that. So it's the personality and being able to understand those challenges that matter the most. So I'd encourage anybody to do that. Obviously, it's beneficial, but it's not everything. Am I going to listen to the guy who's teaching? Am I going to listen to the guy who marched BD on visual more than some other person? Probably. But at the same time,
As a bando, yeah. As a high schooler?
As a high school, it doesn't matter.
You're going to listen to the guy who cares about you more.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially people that don't care. But at the same time, my caption head, who I believed in a lot and trusted a lot, and he delivered consistent results. He didn't even march at top 12 corps. Not once. and he only marched 1 year of this non-top 12 corps.
Oh, that's a.
But
oh my,
he helped grow programs, so
there's a
doesn't
great
matter.
like thing about the whole like I forget his name because he's not famous, but he had taught like all of these premier guitar players, and nobody really knows who he is because he didn't play to that level, but he mentored these
That's
people.
the real Sigma right there, dude.
And what is his name? He plays on Corey Wong's song "Massive" on the Striped album.
Oh, really?
I need to figure out
We
who this
can
guy
pull him
is.
up later. Yeah.
No, like right. I need to figure out
Right
who this guy
now.
is. Right now.
We
because
don't
it's-
have Jamie.
It's gonna ruin me.
We don't have Jamie or Tucker here. We need a Jamie or a Tucker.
Did you know that Tucker's in one of his videos?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in the cop video. I didn't know that until afterward. Like it never.
I kind of don't want to know what his face is. Do I need to stop freaking smacking?
Oh, you ever just be in the hills and not get service? It's okay. I'll figure out his name.
Bruv, you need to get on the Wi-Fi.
I'll figure out his name eventually. Doesn't matter. Sorry.
But no.
Visual
I mean,
bit on an audio podcast.
Love you to death. No, but the thing is, we've talked a lot about teaching, but I will say this:
So that's why I was here.
that is why we're here. It's the biggest chunk. Even though I'm not like dissing people that go and get that crazy high level experience too, because like those people are gods.
Joe Satriani.
They deserve respect. That's his name.
That's his name. He's the
Hold
teacher
on my
of
phone. Oh,
much
sure.
more famous guitar players.
You said it and Google listened. This guy,
Yes.
bald man,
Bald man.
composer, songwriter, and guitar teacher. It's literally in his bio.
Wow.
He's known in his bio for being a guitar teacher,
Not a guitar player.
not a guitar player, which
Yeah.
is very it is in there. He's an American guitarist, comma, but the fact that he's a guitar teacher is in his Wikipedia bio is something else. But yeah, it's like the people. If we're gonna go bando really quick, it's like, dude, like from my friends that go and march, blue coats or whatever. Those people are freaking good. They're really good at what they do, and they deserve to teach at a high level. But if you're gonna treat your kid who was a sophomore and just got broken up with as if you're marching with them and they're not hitting their dots, dude, it's not the point. Just make sure they understand kaleidoscopic drill, and then you're good.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing about being like you said, don't treat them as if you're marching with them, right? Right, that's what you said.
Yeah,
like, directly.
I did use that phrasing.
Yes. Think about the section leaders and what like the impossible task
That's
that
a complicated
they have.
role. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like being a section leader ruins the number one rule of leadership, which is to detach from the situation and take a look at it from an outside the box view. And you are literally barred from doing that as a section leader because you are also marching there.
I think you can, though. I'll take a small disagree with you on here. You
are
do that
set
in
up
that
to
rule.
not do that is what I'm saying. You
It
have
depends-
to like really try.
It depends on the person who's controlling it on top. So like if it's a band setting, it'd be the director. So it depends on what the director wants you to do. I feel like you can take a look at it from an outside setting, but you're not going to be in unfazed by bias or anything like that. And you're very much part of it too.
It's like you have to
you're
learn your
messing up
dots
with-
too. You're
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
field. You can't just like, let me just not learn this and watch you guys do this.
You're messing up too. Well, you can pull yourself out of things and watch, but it's like you got to know your stuff too. So
I guess in a drum situation, you can't do that.
you got to mess up too.
Because you got your other daddy that you have to listen to.
You got to listen to that snare. You got to listen to the Met.
Oh, I meant like the tech. But yeah,
The
if you're a section leader and you're not center
gotta listen
snare,
to
you
all
have to
those
listen to
things.
center snare, you have to listen to tech, then you have to listen to visual tech and the director. Oh my gosh.
A lot of people to listen to.
And not the music.
Yeah, dude, being a section leader ain't no joke. It's a hard job. It's like it's a kind of a big ask. I don't know why. I'm not gonna like.
Man, yeah, it's just I really don't agree with its existence, honestly. Like if it didn't have to exist, I would say no.
Yeah, well, my best interpretation of it is if its role in a DCI setting. So it's like in a DCI setting, you have the staff, you have the people that are teaching you your specific instrument, you have the people who are teaching you the visual aspects of everything you're doing, then that's part one, part two, there ain't nothing else. And so you have the section leaders as well, who are members of this section, but they're not helping to teach things really. They're there to help get things organized, set arcs, get equipment, talk through things, give advice on how to do your laundry. Because, there's 40 people walking up to a laundromat at one time. It's like, okay, here's how we do laundry. But I think that's the best way to implement it, to be honest. If you have a staff. The thing is, the huge reason they exist is because many programs don't have enough money to have like a staff to teach specific instruments. So they need to.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's good to get leadership experience as a student for sure. But it's awkward to try and do that because you're expected to be really good, but they're people too, they fail, and you have your biases, and then you have to make tough decisions, and sometimes those people are responsible for putting people on parts, and that can get really awkward. So there's many things like that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about my time as a section leader so much, and just how backwards it was presented to me, and then how backwards I did it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, if the setup isn't good, it's not going to be a good time for you, for sure.
Like, this is your role as a section leader. And I was like, okay, let me do that. And then I did it terribly because I was dumb. But
dude, I have huge regrets from being a section leader in high school, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Huge regrets. It's
like,
hard.
The amount of times that I yelled.
Yes, dude.
I should not have yelled once.
Dude, I made some really terrible mistakes. Some very public, terrible mistakes, dude.
As a person in power.
Yes.
Come on. Like,
really just regrettable decisions. But I mean, I guess, I don't know, that's why I like it in high school for a reason. It's like, at least I'm not making those mistakes.
Well, that makes you
now.
such a better tech because you made them then. Now you don't have to make them
exactly,
as tech.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd much rather make those mistakes than and be forgiven by our gracious director. Hopefully.
What a legend, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Literally the only reason I would not tech for another school.
For real?
Yeah, the director is the reason I would go back.
Yeah, I might stop in myself for that reason.
If they leave, well, if I
just was
because like this conversation has cemented my pursuit, so now I'm gonna have to start freaking hacking out the drum pad covered in dust.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I could not because of the awkward age difference that we talked about earlier. Because I was getting into doing it sooner, so I can't really go back and do it now.
Maybe. I mean, my little brother is going to be graduating this year, right? You remember his class?
Yes.
And what like the space they occupied in their relationship with you?
Mm-hmm.
They're gone.
Yeah. So I could now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I waited like 3 years to go back.
But as you said, there's still there's still a lingering reputation though. So, in a way,
it's all good though. None of it's like weird. Some of it is with your other section leader, but not with you.
Well, like you said, high school is an interesting time. But yeah, man. Teaching as a very young person is a unique experience. You get to see adults act for what they really are. They're just big children. A lot of people build up their program for themselves.
I can count on like
their kids.
My hands how many adults I know.
How many adults you know?
Yeah, like true adults.
You don't talk to adults?
No, like I said, there are some 40-year-old children.
Vine boom sound effect. What?
like I was saying, like I know a lot of 40-year-old children, but not a lot of 40-year-old adults. In the sense of maturity.
You gotta talk to more adults.
Well, no, like I know a couple actual adults. You know what I mean? Like our director would be considered an adult, right? Even though that's what I mean, not like physical age. I mean mental maturity.
Well, like we said, a lot of people don't have self-aware realizations, and so they just are not. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and act all righteous. We're still children, pretty much.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you that something was wrong with the Challenger. Okay. I think that's also very important.
Well, everybody just can. Are you saying that like as an analogy or as a point? As a point?
Like, just in general, it's like we didn't need to tell us exactly what went wrong in terms of the disc and the ring valves.
Yeah, dude. Well, they just kept ignoring it. They're like, "Oh, this is fine."
But my I will tell you this, that my grandpa, he actually declined
He
a
died on
job.
the Challenger.
He declined a job for that company that designed those. So he,
Oh, that's
like, the people who interviewed him okayed on that thing. I was asking about it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm glad I didn't take that. Otherwise, I would have had a really bad conscience when that blew up."
Yeah, he killed a couple people.
But he like, that was like gonna be his job. So when it blew up and they came out with it, he's like, "Oh, yeah, I know those guys who made that." It's like, jeez, dude, that's crazy. But yeah, like, I don't think, I wouldn't say roasting people, but just pointing out that something is incorrect. I don't think you need to be this high up guy. I mean, we just got done talking about that. You don't need to march blue coats for 5 years to say that, hey, maybe this is out of time.
It has worth, it for sure, but it just depends on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish.
As Jocko Willink says, ask earnest questions. You know?
Jocko is so based.
Dude,
He's a based
can you
man.
explain to me what based means to you?
Based?
Yeah, because everyone I know who says it about a completely different person. Like people who are not related at all in terms of message.
Jocko is absolutely based. What does based mean?
Yeah, what does it mean to you? Like when you say someone is based?
They have hard to hear but very truthful opinions. At least that I agree with.
Because I've been told that Andrew Tate is based by multiple people.
Well, they're misogynists
I would
that
not
just say he's
compare them
based.
to at all. So that's why I asked, what does based mean to you? Because I feel like it's very subjective.
Yeah, well, the fact that he's in jail for trafficking, that's horrendous. Yeah.
I hope it's proved wrong. I really do, because that means all those people that could be in trouble.
Well, I think Critical said it best, that he gives good advice, but it's not advice that you wouldn't hear from better people. From better people for sure, or just anywhere else, literally anywhere else. It's just like he just says it in a way that's very soundbite friendly and very hard hitting, which is sometimes it's like some things that people need to hear. It's just like, oh, stop playing video games so much. It's
stop
like
vaping.
Yeah, stop vaping. It's like, okay, he says it in like I can see why someone would be like, oh, he gives good advice. Well, but like you don't need to hear. You don't need to hear it from somebody who traffics people. That's messed up, dude.
But they do need to hear it from someone who is like him.
Well, they need to hear it from someone, period. But unfortunately, it's just from him.
Well, no, like we were just talking about, like it doesn't matter like who you are as long as you like fit into that ecosystem and you can relate to those people and you can care about them, right? That's how they'll hear you, and he fits into their ecosystem. Jocko's not going to fit in to some 16-year-old vapor kid.
Yeah, dude.
If he tells a 16-year-old to stop vaping, they'll be like,
true.
"Oh, you're just some army guy."
But Tate's going to be on his feed, bro.
Yeah,
Tate's going to be on his feed.
And he's going to be doing the things that guy thinks is cool.
You heard it here first, folks. Go watch some Jocko.
Oh, my gosh. Pay for the Jocko Underground, please. That's honestly...
Or just try to sit through one of his 3.5-hour-long podcasts.
It's not that... it's weird because I actually don't listen to his main one because I don't find it very applicable to me. His underground one is all about like his viewers and their questions, and like if I want to get theological, it's the difference between the Gospels and the Book of James.
Sure.
Where one is like, oh, that's really cool that those people did that. That's inspiring. And another one is, this is what applies to your life directly. Like I can hear about the great stories of the frogmen in the Korean War and how they got pinned down by the Chinese Imperial Army. Very cool. But like that doesn't do as much for me as, hey, this is what an ecosystem is, and this is how to apply this idea.
Well, he has some general podcasts that he does that are just like talking about how to apply leadership in like a business setting or
his soundbite ones.
Well, dude, the soundbite ones are good, dude. Like the one, dude, get off your phone. Guys, I have some life advice for you. Get off your phone.
I have some very important life advice that will help you
Get off your phone. He just screams it. It's so good. It's so good. And it's so facts. I need to do that.
Legit changed my life. I actually read an excerpt from his book 2 nights ago.
Oh my gosh, you're reading? You're reading as a 20-year-old? What is this? You're reading? What?
What are you getting at?
You read books? That's insane.
It's one of the first books I've read in a while, but yeah.
Who does that? Who reads? This is a bit. Audio listeners, he doesn't know what I'm getting at right now.
Vine boom.
Doesn't. It's going off the rails here. Yeah, no.
Man.
Anyways, what was the point of this excerpt that you read?
Oh, it's just
Book club?
it was just practicing reading out loud.
Practicing reading out loud. You were doing this?
Yeah.
Is that real?
I do whatever I want on the solo episodes, and that was just something that I wanted to do.
So why do you need to practice reading out loud?
Well,
School, popcorn reading. Dude, you got to read Macbeth.
I really like reading out loud in general because it challenges my brain to do it well. I mean, there's a difference between like reading like the Declaration of Independence and being like, I don't know, like we hold these truths to be self-evident, like to be like interesting while reading out loud. For one.
Oh, sure, I guess.
Right, like as a skill, and then also I have to present screenplays to people, and if you have people reading out loud your very cool dialogue, like, oh no, I didn't like that.
Well, that makes more sense when you provide the context of it being a skill that you need to have. I don't find myself in many situations
Well,
where
it's not a skill I need to have. Like, that's just an example of where it might.
Well, it is a skill that would be useful for you. For me, I don't need to do that ever.
No, it's just I am hammering down that it is a useless thing to know how to do, is read out loud really well.
So then why did you do it?
Because I hate it. I hate hearing people read out loud that suck.
So you did something you hate just to do it? Or what?
I have this weird thing where, like, if someone does something terribly, I just feel the need to do it well, which is one of the reasons I want to go back in tech.
Ego.
No, it's
creeping in.
It's not that.
So you're going to the piano right now, dude. You're going to the piano to show people up right now.
No, it's not.
You
want
to read out loud better than people right now. You want to read out loud better than people right now.
Oh my gosh, that made me feel so bad inside. I wish someone did it better. And now I don't know. There's a lot of useless things I know how to do. Like my cursive is so good, and no one writes anymore. I'm not gonna write a handwritten note to anybody. Nobody cares. It's just like, oh, I think that's cool. I want to do that. It's mostly that.
If the reading out loud thing is an issue, and like you want to be good at it for yourself, that's good. But you know what would be better, and this could be applied to your teching, is to go to the person that made you upset and be like, bro, you got to get better at that.
So you're telling me to stand up during graduation and be like, that is the worst speech delivery I've ever heard.
Well, you didn't give me the context. I thought it was
just
in class
anything.
or something.
It's anything. Anytime anyone reads out loud, I call it the unemotional delivery of emotional words.
Well, there's different.
You guys made me feel so loved, and I felt like maybe that I could be someone too. And that's my speech for the class of 20. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. But, you know, not every speaking situation is created equal. Like, obviously, it's going to just to be able to, even if it's monotone, just to be able to read out loud in front of a crowd of, I don't even know how many people attend, like, a high school graduate. Thousands of people go.
3,000 people.
Yeah, exactly. That's thousands of people you're talking to at one time. That's crazy. So just being able to get through it is an achievement. But I get what I understand what you're getting at.
It's like, oh, that sucks. I want to do it well. It's mostly like most people suck at this, so I want to be good at it. Does that make sense? I think that's more of it. Tired boy.
Yeah, you just want to. Yeah, dude, I'm yawning. You just gotta realize that it's like, oh, it's a skill for you to build up here. For myself, and if I'm ever in that situation, so
it's like a lot of things I do are just for me. Like I taught myself how to shuffle cards really, really well, and that serves zero purpose, you know?
Yeah, but then you start playing games.
Like
And it's like boom,
once a
like
year.
the bean game.
The bean game?
You ever played the bean game?
No.
The bean card game.
I don't know what
You
the bean
collect
game
and
is.
grow beans. Gotta play the bean game sometime.
Do you have any useless things that you can do? Like just that serve no purpose, but you're like, I think that's cool. I'm gonna do that.
Well, I think you can fake a purpose into any skill.
Well, that's true, but like you went in knowing this serves me, this does nothing for me, but I'm gonna do it because I like it.
No, I generally don't pick up skills unless they serve a purpose. That would be a problem.
I guess and like
I
a
don't think
dumb purpose. I really want to learn how to play harmonica because I think it would be funny.
That's enough of a purpose, though. You think it would be funny? I don't know, dude.
You just whip out a harmonica at a campfire. Oh my gosh, last night was like a movie.
My life is like a movie and it sucks. If you've ever said my life is like a movie, dude, you got problems.
Please seek therapy.
Sorry. Yeah, you got issues if you've ever said that, dude.
Oh man,
Your life is not Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm sorry, dude. Your trip to Target is not Ferris Bueller. Oh no, dude. You stayed out past curfew, bro. You are not
You're
driving
such a rebel.
You are not driving the Ferrari off the side of the cliff, dude. Come on.
Just because you own a Subaru WRX
Those cars are lit.
does not mean you're a baby driver.
Yeah, drifting in the WRX with it, which is an all-wheel drive car. Makes so much sense. I love that movie though.
You think they would get that right? Maybe it was modded.
Well, that was by choice. I think Edgar Wright directed that movie. I think so.
I don't know.
I think so.
That's your movie.
Yeah, it is my movie. Well, it's probably my favorite movie. I'm pretty sure Edgar Wright directed it, but I think he did that by choice. I don't know why they picked the Subaru specifically. Maybe as a product placement, like
well, the WRX is like a very special car in the car community.
Well, the thing is, I don't know why the WRX in that movie and in the opening scene isn't even in the new one though. So I have no idea.
Yeah, that's very weird. I mean,
it's like the mid 2000s.
It wouldn't have been able to do that if it was all-wheel drive.
No.
And it's real.
No,
it's on camera. Yeah.
Well, or the car itself, they had to modify it, yes, for it to be able to do the stunts.
Oh, like for the movie, they redid it.
They cut two of the, like they cut the drivetrain to make it rear-wheel drive so that it could do those stunts. Yeah, because an all-wheel drive car would not be able to do that. It's still a good scene though. All-wheel car drive thing.
Editing. Oh my gosh.
That whole movie is something else.
I still have to see the whole movie. I've only seen the opening scene.
Yeah, editing helps make that movie alive. I hope they don't end up making the sequel for it.
Is there plans?
Yeah, there's plans too. It does not. It's one of those movies that does not need one. So.
I love movies.
Oh really? Well, you like movies. You like music. Well,
so Quentin Tarantino.
You like crime. Well, tell you what, I got the movie for you, son. Baby Driver. There you go.
I watched Good Will Hunting recently. That was the last movie I saw for the first time. Have you seen Good Will Hunting?
I've only seen clips of it.
You should watch the whole thing. I think you would appreciate it.
Probably.
Fine, boom. I really appreciated it because I know what it means to Matt Damon and Ben Affleck more than like the movie itself.
In terms of like their career?
No, they wrote it, right? They wrote that movie and like got it made somehow. And so every scene that's good, I can just imagine like the payoff that they feel from that. You know? It's like you're cheering for them like, "Oh my gosh, it's good. That's so cool." I feel like it's different. Like if you show up to support a friend, and they're doing great in whatever they're doing, every time they do something good, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. But if you were just watching someone do that thing, you probably wouldn't care.
So you're a Ben Affleck stan, is what you're saying?
No, I just I was like, man, like to get your film made like that must be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, any project that's successful is good. But I got a question for you.
Any project that is successful is good.
Yeah, that's an achievement,
Okay.
bro.
All right.
I got a question for you though. What's your opinion on Ben Affleck's back?
What do you mean by that?
You ever seen his back?
No. What's wrong with his back?
He's got a tattoo on his entire back.
Really?
It's a bird.
Recently? Because
I think he tried to get it covered up though.
I saw him in Batman v Superman, and he did not have anything on his back.
Well, they all cover that stuff up.
Cool VFX, people. Ben Affleck's back.
That is, in fact, what I am searching on Google right now.
Ben Affleck's back
Yeah,
without
dude,
a
it's so
shirt on.
bad.
Audio listeners, I'll be at that. That's a lot of ink. That's a lot of ink.
What is this?
That's a
He's
lot
not
of ink.
even ripped in this photo, dude. It just looks so bad.
That looks like the back of my jacket, but on his back.
Dude, Ben's got a jacket here that looks like Ben Affleck's back.
He's got a Sukajan
except it looks
embedded into
way
his
better.
skin.
It looks way better on this jacket than it does on Ben Affleck's back.
Dude, there's so few things that being Asian makes better, and that jacket's one of them. So I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, you get the wearing dragons on the jacket pass, dude.
Yep. But I don't get the dress up as any character in American pop culture you want pass on Halloween.
No,
Big
your
sad.
selections are limited, unfortunately. Hate to break it to you.
Hate to break it
Unless
to
you want to be one of those cross the border people.
No. Let me dress up my white girl as Moana and make a headline about it.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You totally can.
You can.
See all the white kids in the Black Panther costumes? They just
boy.
I just like superheroes, man. I just like superheroes. I want to be Black Panther. You can only... it's so funny. There's a great Bill Burr bit about this. It's like, why did they have an able-bodied man playing a disabled person in a movie? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Because it's called acting.
Okay, hey, he's a better actor. I don't know, man.
Because it's acting. Because he's not actually disabled.
The funny part about that is that Bill Burr just plays the same character that he's in every movie.
Well, he at least he admits he sucks.
He is self-aware.
He knows.
Unlike The Rock. The Rock is not self-aware.
He doesn't know that he plays The Rock in every movie? Was he The Rock in Black Adam? I didn't see that.
Yeah, Bill Burr was The Rock. Bill Burr he's the new Rock. I mean, they're equally as bald, so.
That's true. I love Bill Burr. I haven't listened to the Monday Morning Podcast in a long time, though. That is partially
it's the same.
That's partially the inspiration for this. Do you know that?
I can believe it.
Not in the sense that, I'm going to be funny by myself for an hour. But the idea that he's doing that and his kids are going to grow up without a dad at some point because he's old.
He's not that old, though.
He's 54
yeah.
as a comedian, which is pretty old.
And he's a smoker.
And
he's going to die.
He was a smoker.
He's going to die at like 73, I bet.
An alcoholic.
Yeah, but his kids are going to be like mid-20s when he's gone. It's not going to be like that bad.
I know, but most kids have their parents until their 50s.
Yeah.
And so they have all this Bill Burr Monday Morning Podcast stuff to look back on to remember their dad.
Yeah.
That was why I was like, I should do something like that.
Yeah, it's meaningful.
Yeah. I think it's really cool that they have that. It's like if I don't know, have you ever seen your dad's broadcasts? Do you care about that?
I have. Yeah. Yeah, context. My dad was a news reporter. So I have watched videos of that. Yeah, he's got him stored somewhere, so that'd be a good bonding moment for me to see what's going on with that.
Also, not to be morbid, but that is this podcast. This podcast is the definition of morbidity because I had both my grandfathers on recently, and I mean, I pitched it to them as like, hey, you're gonna die soon, so maybe you give us something to hold on to.
How old are your grandparents?
Over 70.
I think you got time, my brother, but I understand what angle you're coming at.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather have them in their prime.
Sure. No, that makes sense, I guess. No, dude, it's a good thing. Yeah. Well, like, when I talk about doing this, it's like, it's something.
You just
good
said
to
nothing
have.
for like 5 seconds.
I love saying. I love
Well,
going
yeah.
roundabout.
I mean, if you think of, like, I don't know,
Dude,
like
have
maybe
you ever read a transcript of your own voice, dude? The amount of likes and ums and oohs and ahs, dude, it's so bad.
I listen to these back.
It's so terrible. Never look at a transcription of your own voice. It makes you so self-conscious.
Look at a transcription of your
do,
own voice and
and
take out the
approve it.
likes, ums, and ahs.
That's the goal.
I used to say, you know what I mean, after everything, and now I don't because I started doing this and I hear myself. You know what I
I
mean?
say that a lot. I probably... Someone put in a
You know what I mean?
counter.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Stop. Anyways, the point of what I was going to say, now I'm saying nothing because I'm trying to remember what it was. Yes, is that, even if we just like listen to these a couple of years down the road, it's just like, we can see what problems were relevant or what stuff was going on, which is important. And it's good to have with people. So
yeah, I mean, that could be applicable with maybe Rogan, but for this, it's all about the person. Even the solo ones are just about me. I'm going to have a link because my immediate family they don't have access to this because that would be tragic. If my parents had access to this kind of thing.
Isn't this a publicly accessible YouTube channel?
Yeah, but they don't know what it's called. They don't have the link.
Okay.
But I'm gonna have a link stored in case of death type thing, where like they get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in your last will and testament, bro.
It's just an
Here's
HTTPS.
yeah. There's nothing else
Like and
besides
subscribe.
the HTTPS. Yeah, ring the bell for notifications. They need the notifications, bro.
Oh man,
You might drop something new.
dude. Real talk though, so I recently came in possession of this urn. This very cool urn. It doesn't have anything in it. It's
like
unused.
a vase. So it's a vase.
So it's a metal mahogany. It's a like wooden mahogany box.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, I can put like a, what do you call that? Not a eulogy.
You can put your body in it.
I could do that. I'm going to put a flash drive in there. I haven't made it yet, but I'm in the process of drafting it out. It's my in case I die randomly without me knowing video.
Yeah. Which can happen.
Yeah, I could die on the way home tonight.
Yep.
You could get out of your
Everyone's
chair
had this conversation, though.
No one's done anything about it, though.
What do you Well, okay. Originally my first thought was like, well, you can't really do anything about some drunk driver just kind of hitting you. That's just fate, bro.
Yeah.
But I guess like preparing for it, yeah. Like I've had to think about my will by my little stint in the military. It's very weird to finally think about that, even though we're so young. So yeah,
I think about it every day, like legitimately. I think about dying every day. Not like suicide, but like man, like if I were
get
to
help if you do that every day,
exit the
please.
world.
Thanks.
You know, I hope that I left something. You know what I mean? Because mostly because I haven't recorded the video yet. Like, well, what if I die? And like, there's a lot of things that I would like to tell people that I haven't, and I want to include it in there. Like this box is gonna have a flash drive with a movie file on it, and it's gonna be me making fun of my death. It's be like, dude,
Ooh, like Technoblade.
like a car accident? Are you kidding me? That is so gay. Like I don't know, something like that. And then like a serious note at the end. The video would be like 10 minutes tops. That would be running long. And then I'm going to have a bunch of handwritten letters in there to my atomic family.
Yeah.
Because you never know. And then, like, every year I'll just update it.
That's a good idea.
I'll just make a new video, rewrite the letters.
Well, what if you live to be like 100?
Then I will have 100 "Oops, I died" videos on our drive. I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
That's very morbid.
I think it'd be fun to make that. Because think about how, like, epic that would be. Like, so you're dead, right? And they're like, oh, shoot, we found something. And it's relevant to your death. And you made it. It's like, oh, dude, he thought this out. You know? There's this great video of this Irish guy who got buried, right? And he had an open casket funeral. They put him in the ground, but he knew he was going to die, probably terminally ill. So he recorded this thing like he was in the casket stuck. And they played that at the funeral. It was very funny.
It's good to have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
for situations like that.
Who put me in this box? Like, who paid for this? This wood is terrible. It's just stuff like that. Just like roasting people. But
sure.
I think that'd be so cool to have. Just like, oh, I died. Imagine that.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason the Technoplay video was kind of good in a way.
I wish he was able to record it.
Yeah, I wish he was able to do it himself too. But also, like his
dad
said,
was nuts. When I saw that pop up my feed, I was like, I knew what was going on, but I was like, it never occurred to me that he would actually legitimately die.
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem.
I just assumed he'd have to retire for some reason.
He just waited too long. Just what happens.
He was probably in denial. It's like, oh, I'll get over this. I'll just do it. Yeah.
Everyone is, if you've had to go through it. Everyone is, if they're in that situation.
If they're dying themselves?
Yeah.
Have you been in that situation?
Have you been around a dying person? Not yet, at least, sounds like.
Not a, like, functional person.
What, he's like someone with Alzheimer's?
Yeah, they were just kind of like...
They're still alive, though?
They're, like, physically they were alive when I saw them.
They were.
They were.
They're not now.
They are not now,
That's
but
close.
They were.
That's close enough, I guess.
But they weren't, like... They weren't sharp enough to be like, oh, I don't want to die. They were just kind of like potatoes at that point. Like, they should have... It's good that they died, right? Which sounds terrible to say, but at that point, you know.
Well, I think if you were in battle and if you were still conscious, but you were missing all of your limbs and almost all of your torsos, by some miracle you're still alive, yeah, I think you would probably want to be let go too. But
I love that scene.
What scene? Huh? I'm not even referencing anything.
Oh, Saving Private Ryan.
That's in Saving Private Ryan?
Yes.
All right, movie man.
Guy gets blown up. I watched that scene recently. And
blows up a tank with a pistol.
No.
That happens.
No, it did not happen. It was definitely an airplane that blew it up. But no, I watched it recently. The first time I watched it, I was like, wow, this is really well done. And then I watched it like 2 weeks ago. I was like, every time like a bullet sound, I like mentally flinched.
War movies are good.
Fine, boom. I still need to watch Shawshank. I need to watch Fury.
Oh, you don't... Oh, man. Fury's a good one.
It's Brad Pitt, right?
It's not the most realistic, of course.
It's probably epic, though.
Good. It's very epic. Definitely an epic film.
Epic in the context of Gladiator is an epic story.
Yeah.
Not 2016 PewDiePie, unfortunately.
PewDiePie, bro. His dogs show you something about morbidity, bro. Maya's gone.
I was gonna say Vine Boom.
We grew up with Maya. No, don't say Vine Boom after Maya, PewDiePie's dog, dying, bro. It's so sad.
I don't know. I didn't really care. It sounds terrible, but it's like, it's a pet. I've had pets die.
It happens.
It just happens. I feel like if you are really torn up about your pet dying, then you have some sort of regrets about your pet. Does that make sense?
Like not taking care of them enough?
Not spending enough time with them. Not taking care of them.
Folks, if you get a pet, spend time with your pets, please.
It's like when my dog died recently, I was like, oh, shoot, the dog's dying? But I was totally at peace with him dying. Because I was like, well, he's getting taken out now, which sucks, which means I won't be able to spend time with him later. But, I mean, we were chilling this whole time. You know? It's like, well, now he's just not going to be here. But we were chilling.
Appreciate the moments when you have them.
Yeah. I mean, like, every time I hung out with the dog, I was like, dude, this is sick. I got a dog. And then when I didn't have a dog, I was like, oh, well, I had a good time.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe that makes me a bad person, but
What, for not
feeling
for
bad
not
when my
feeling
dog
bad that your
dies.
dog dies? I don't think it's a bad thing that you were fulfilled. So that probably just, to me, that just makes me think that you're fulfilled with the time you had with your dog. It's fine. So
Patrick Bateman. Are you
American
flashing me the
Psycho.
time? Do you want to end? Because you keep giving me this like really
dude,
interesting gaze
my brother,
that I can't read.
it is late.
That's why I was asking.
We will have this podcast for when we are dead.
Vine boom.
And that is the point of the Time Capsule podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Hopefully this will not be your only appearance.
Probably not.
I hope
There's
not.
always developments.
I need to have Tanner back on to discuss the Wendy's experience. That was...
I hate Wendy's. I hate Wendy's.
Why? Wendy's is good. I know I don't...
They got the Frosties.
I don't eat it
That's
anymore
facts.
because I can't walk in there without feeling awful.
Well,
but
you know what goes in that food now. So, unless you have some very thought-provoking questions.
No, dude.
Just end it on Wendy's. Wendy's?
Don't do
End it on the Vine boom.